Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming.
You're chatting gas. Embarrassing.
Off, ref!
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever.
Welcome back to the club. Oh, do you know what? I was going to do it, and then I thought surely I have to just like concede this ground to the champion at the table.
Yeah,
like, isn't that right?
Well, I'm sat here, lads. You know, it's been lovely doing the club with you so far, and hope long may it continue. Where's my guard of honour?
All right, you walk
the
past
first.
here,
Yeah,
we'll
all right, let's do it.
You walk through. We'll give you a guard of honour.
Let's do it.
Okay, ready? You cut across. Boo! 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 No, he's jogging. He's actually a professional footballer. Yeah.
Unbelievable, lads.
Any reason to get your tree trunks on the screen?
Well, I'm not wearing any trousers now until October. That's how summer works for me
I agree.
in this country.
Commit to the summer. Yeah, basically May to late September.
Yeah,
in the cold courts.
All jokes aside, we've won a Premier League, and we've done it in quite a weird way for City. No drama. Another club's decided it for us. Almost this time last
that
year.
was quicker than you did the marathon.
Why do we keep bringing that up when my beautiful football club that I've been supporting for 20 years of my life has now made 5 Premier League title successes in 6 years? Unbelievable, lads. 3 in a row, Adam. Next year we could be 4 in a row.
That's why everyone needs
That's how maths works, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it?
But you know what I mean? It's like, these are scary numbers.
4 in a row has never been done.
No.
3 in a row has been done by 5
Has it ever
teams.
been done pre-Premier League 4?
Yes, it has. I think.
Because I know 3's only been done like 5 times pre-Premier League.
5 different. It's been done more than 5 times, but 5 clubs. I think Liverpool, Huddersfield, Manchester United, who've obviously done it twice. Liverpool did it in the 80s, and one other. Well, City will be.
And now City, yeah.
City, yeah. Unbelievable, lads. And I think it's obviously the issue is for the narrative around City. Obviously, we'll talk about on the stream and in various podcasts coming up. City were fantastic this season. We have been. Long may it continue going into the Man United FA Cup final, the Champions League final. But the big thing, of course, will be Arsenal's capitulation. Embarrassing at points and against Forest. Really, really poor.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm very surprised that it went quite as badly as it did. I think when you think that they were in a title run-in, like they genuinely were in the business end of the season, they had the title available to them. It was always going to be difficult, but it's always going to be difficult. And they just totally and utterly capitulated, didn't they? Like, it's all very well talking about, you know, the finance power of Manchester City or the strength in depth of the Man City squad. But ultimately, it wasn't about that. Ultimately, they didn't lose the league to City. They lost 3 times to City, but they got themselves into a privileged enough position that they could have gone to the Etihad, got beat, and still won the league. The league was lost at places like the Emirates against Brighton, West Ham United away. West Ham, who at the time, you know, they found a bit of rhythm now. But at the time, they looked a dreadful team. Dreadful team.
Slow.
And when you bring the context of the game into it as well, you have a penalty at 2-1. you were 2-0 up.
I mean, and then straight off the back of that into the 3-3 against Southampton at home.
So they dropped in the last 8 games. They dropped those 6 points in those 3 draws, then 3 points against City, and a further 6 points since against Forest.
I'd be worried because
that's 15 points have dropped. If you exclude the City game, that's 12 points have dropped, which would bring. Let's say they even got half of those amounts of points. They'd be above you right now.
Man City have won the league with 3 games to spare. Bearing in mind that Arsenal had a fairly comfortable cushion over Man City in February, to win the league with 3 games to spare, it's not about City winning games, is it? Of course, there's an element of that, but it's about Arsenal not making the most of the opportunities.
You know what? You mentioned them. I've mentioned this as well. That beating City wasn't, didn't matter in terms of the title race, which ultimately it didn't, because they could have got points elsewhere and still won the league. But beating City in one of those games, those 3 games, would have presented a huge challenge to City, and it would have inflicted a psychological blow on them. That this is like when Liverpool were going them, they knew Liverpool were a team that could beat them. Yeah. Therefore, they could make that swing in a game against City and potentially take the lead. I don't think City were ever scared of Arsenal. No. And that obviously plays into it as well, because they're not playing with that fear of a team that are worried about.
I can only use the eye test. As a City fan, of course, we've only been in Premier League title races since the 2010s for obvious reasons. When we face Fergie's Man United, when we face Klopp's Liverpool, and of course the Conte's Chelsea, unbelievable, and they were fierce and they were aggressive sides to play against. And I was worried. I did some decent numbers on social predicting the softness of Arsenal, and maybe I came across as cocky, but all I can see is the eye test. So poor.
Can I just say about that as well? Gary Neville, his little TikTok has been going around with him getting viral for him saying City would win the league by 10 points, which I think you have to respect he got right. Yeah. But on the same day, you were sat there saying we're going to smash Arsenal, we're going to do that.
He copied
and everyone called you a wind-up.
Yeah. Everyone was slagging me off. Little old Buvey being on the sofa, winding up Arsenal fans.
You could, two things can be true. 2 things can be simultaneously true. You can be correct and be a wind-up.
Yeah, and I like to be very correct all the time, by the way, and a wind-up.
No, but look ultimately, that's where it happened, isn't it? Like it happened at West Ham. I think that is the moment. That is the seminal moment where I realised that there is a vulnerability to this Arsenal team, because people will, I think, forever flag the 2-2 draw at Anfield when they were 2-0 up. But I think you can rationalise that. I think you can rationalise a draw at Anfield, where at any point.
We lost there so many times.
It's a point at Anfield, isn't it? It's not a bad point. Whatever spin you put on it, it's not a bad point. You've got your point. It's what happened off the back of that. And do you know what's so weird? It was because of the pressure that was put on them, and because of the business end of the season, and because they realised at that point that the title was there for them. Because, earlier in the season, I remember there was a period, it was Forest, They beat Forest 5-0. Then they came to Chelsea and they beat us 1-0, but we couldn't get the ball off them at Stamford Bridge. They beat us 1-0. And they then went, I think, to Molineux and won again convincingly. This, all the time, by the way, is maintaining a 10-point cushion over Man City. And at that point, obviously, there's no genuine jeopardy because nothing's going to be won in that period. I think that would have been October, maybe. Yeah, it would have been October, November. Nothing's won then. So they were churning out the wins, scoring the goals, doing everything that was expected of them, creating a narrative where people thought they could win the league. As soon as it really mattered, as soon as the pressure was on.
I think one of the things that didn't help Arsenal was they didn't make enough changes to their team throughout the season.
So poor management, are you saying?
Obviously they've got a weaker squad than Arsenal, than Manchester City, and obviously they weren't ready for a title race just yet. So, but I saw a stat earlier. I can't remember the exact numbers, but City had made the most changes to their team, and Arsenal were amongst the teams that had made the least changes. And Mikel Arteta got into a point where Saka, Martinelli, obviously Jesus was injured at that point, but whoever was playing up front, and
Partey always had to play
and all that. And he kind of I have to play these guys, and he never trusted his backup line either because he couldn't or he just wouldn't. And I think ultimately, if you look at the back end of the season, I think in the last 2 or 3 months, Saka's got 3 goals.
Partey's looked a shadow of the
fizzled
man.
out.
Partey's looked dreadful.
Absolutely blasted him. He's played so much football. And again, that comes down to City have this unreal squad. Obviously, Pep has to manage it and he has to coach
I think
them.
you're being too
play
kind. I think you're being a little bit kind.
Yeah, I agree.
No, it comes down to a lack of changes from Arsenal. It now means at the tail end of the season when it really matters, and of course they have the psychological deficiencies. They're not a team that's ready for the, but being physically fresher,
I think that's
means
psychological.
you can go in at the back end of the season and possibly win. When you've got Saka and Martinelli out on their feet, and again it comes down to mistakes because there were times when Saka started and maybe Trossard should have started.
No, that's what I was just about to
Do you
say.
know
They've
what I
had
mean?
Trossard on
It
the
wasn't
bench. They
always
haven't
mistakes.
chosen. No, but
Trossard came in January.
Yes, but he hasn't played, and they've looked a far better team with him starting.
And even Jesus being back fit, I'd say.
Yeah.
There's an argument that Jesus shouldn't have been starting
Half of
many
that is
football
a
games.
criticism, and half of that is
But-
the reality that
But the
Arsenal
psychological
squad
thing that
weren't
you're
ready.
talking about is an interesting one because Arsenal have actually used more players in the Premier League campaign than City this season. I think it's something like 26 to 23. So look, we've obviously got a nucleus of very expensive quality players with a few young players in and around that squad. The big thing for me, if I'm an Arsenal player, we've thrown the League Cup, we've thrown the Europa League, the FA Cup, we got bullied by Man City. Every week you've got one game to focus on. It actually can be a negative because you're focusing on that one game. You're overplaying every moment.
I always say
City have got Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. All right, if we lose in the Premier League running, we've got Bayern Munich to beat in the Champions League. There's more to think about.
I always thought that, and also
Less pressure on the
I think
Premier League.
they also didn't rotate even when they had the opportunity. So when they're playing like fixtures that they should be winning fairly convincingly and fairly easily in Europe, they're starting the main men. That's when Thomas Partey has a rest, for example. Yeah. And they weren't doing that. And I think there's a naivety from Mikel Arteta because he didn't make the most of his squad when he could.
Did he, again, I agree kind of with what you're saying, but I'm just asking you this for the debate's sake. Is he kind of in a catch-22 situation there where if he rests too many players, people go, you're not taking the other competitions seriously. You should be trying to win those competitions as well. And if he plays everyone goes, whoa, what are you doing? You got this big chance to win the league.
It's a balancing act because you don't necessarily play everyone, but there was an obvious period when Thomas Partey needed a rest. He was so integral to everything good that they did. He was one of the best players in the Premier League for that period of time, and he was just being run ragged. It's essential that you keep the squad fresh. It's essential that you bring in new players and make sure that they play. You know, bringing in Trossard, not really playing him, it didn't make sense. Bringing in Jorginho felt like a wild one for me.
He did okay.
Anyway.
He's done all right. Newcastle
I think he was okay.
They've conceded. I know we've talked about the front line. I definitely agree with you, lads. The defensive issues for Arsenal. Sometimes you can't always outblow a side 3 or 4-0 like they were doing at the early stages of the season. Sometimes it's going to be 1-0. It's going to be ugly. They couldn't rotate their back line. I think Ben White should have been moved into the centre at points. Maybe you bring Saka into a wing back, play 5 at the back. Maybe you know. I know. I'm not a manager.
No,
but
you need to find a solution.
Kirill should have come in earlier. In
but
my
they had the
opinion.
likes of again,
Holding
and maybe
as well.
ignoring some injury issues along the way.
You trusted
But
Holding.
they
man.
could have used Tierney a little bit more, got him fresher, because there were times when Zinchenko he looked a bit terrible towards the end of the season. You know what I mean?
Done.
The trouble is, and this is another just to kind of give a bit of an understanding as to why it went wrong for Arsenal. When Saliba got injured, they have no choice but to play somebody like Rob Holding. Whereas, you know, when you look at Man City's depth, so you may have less players, you may have used less players, but if one of your centre halves is out, Laporte's coming in. If Phil Foden is injured, Mahrez can play, or you know, there's players like that.
You don't even have to be injured. You can just rotate just because you can.
No, I mean that's what they do, isn't it? That's when I suppose we'll have to have a conversation about the purity of City at some point as well.
115 charges?
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't...
Well, I throw 120 charges towards you, lads. I'm just
No,
charges.
but they're fake charges.
No, they're not.
115
they're going
charges
through the crown court
pending,
right
bro.
now. They're going through the crown court.
We
right
might
now.
need to put asterisks next to everything that you're doing right now.
Do you know
in fact,
what?
I'm going to bring a big asterisk in.
There is a world where I think it's important for us to acknowledge that at the moment, they are nothing but allegations. At the moment, they are nothing but allegations. As soon as they're more than allegations, then I suppose we have to have that conversation. But there isn't a
People
club.
say things 115 times, though.
No, but what the difference is, do you know when you look at the difference between Arsenal and Man City? In fact, when you look at the difference between Man City and any other club in the world, maybe with the exception of Paris Saint-Germain and in the future probably Newcastle and maybe Manchester United, I suppose, depending on how the takeover goes. Very few clubs could sign a player like Calvin Phillips, England international, for 45 million quid, him not play, and it totally not matter.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that Arsenal just can't do. You know, if Arsenal signed Jorginho, you're saying he did all right. I suppose that's the best spin that you can put on it. It didn't really set the world alight as he perhaps could have done. Maybe that's why they didn't win the league. They didn't get Mudryk. Mudryk hasn't looked good, but let's just not use Mudryk as the example. Let's just use the example. No, but let's just use the example that they didn't get the player that they wanted for an awful lot of money. At Man City, that kind of thing doesn't matter because they have Foden, they go and sign Grealish. Yeah. They sign Phillips. You don't play, it doesn't matter.
But they've had those opportunities. Pepe, 75 million quid. That's a big flop. They've had these opportunities and they spent more money than City in the last 2 summer transfer windows. I know it's arbitrary compared to what we spent, of course. But actually, I looked at the numbers for some of the squads in the Champions League, and the actual active squad for Man City is worth about 700 million quid, which I know these are disgustingly abstract numbers. No one should be spending that much money, period. But 700 million quid, if you divide that by the amount of players that are in a squad, it averages about 30, 40 million. We've got a backup keeper who's fantastic, costs nothing. Phil Foden costs nothing. Rico Lewis costs nothing.
No, but what's your point? Hang on.
I'm saying the numbers aren't. I think Arsenal aren't far off our numbers.
No,
they aren't.
Hang on. No, but Buvey, in that equation that you've just done there, I assume that you're suggesting your calculation makes Erling Haaland a £50 million player.
He is 50. Yeah, he is.
No, you see what I mean here.
No, but it also ignores
not a £50 million player.
It ignores the fact that you had Aguero's and all these players that have left.
But Erling Haaland's obviously not.
You can't just go, this squad is left.
Okay, Alvarez, he's 50 million quid.
I know. No other club in the world could sign Julian Alvarez when you've signed Erling Haaland. Like, to be the backup for Haaland.
I'm not saying the money's not there for City. Of course it is. But what I'm trying to say is some of these signings are a lot more astute than we give credit to Man City for.
I think 2 things can exist here.
Arsenal ability to do it.
Gundogan was cheap.
It was I remember when Pep went in at the start, world record fee on a goalkeeper. Don't like him, change him up. World record, then you spent 50 million on some fullbacks. Mendy and who was the other one?
Bravo wasn't world record.
Now they're cack. Let's get 2 more. Bravo 50 more million.
It's also the conditioning for Guardiola. It's also signing Guardiola, then providing Guardiola with all of the backroom staff that he had at Barcelona, then making it appealing for Guardiola, who's obviously not on a pittance, then telling Guardiola that you will have the opportunity to spend. But 2 things are different here. And I think that as football fans, which we are, rather than kind of either as financial analysts or whatever, football fans, this is the best collection of players that we've ever seen. And they've won 3 leagues in a row. They're most likely to win 4 leagues in a row.
I don't agree with that.
They're probably going to win a treble. I
don't agree with that statement.
It's more likely than not.
It's not even the best group of players Pep's had.
Pep's
Barca team's better than this team.
This is the best
consistent squad. The Barca 11's the best. The Barca 11.
11 maybe, but not squad. No way. But
the squad.
To have Riyad Mahrez sitting on the bench.
The squad.
Phil Foden sitting on the bench. Laporte sitting on the bench.
Give me someone on the bench for Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Pedro's on the bench. He was
he was starting for Barca. He was starting.
And Pedro's nowhere near.
Bojan.
Look, I do believe that this is the best collection of footballers that we've ever seen. And
Pep's best team's Barcelona. Though.
I don't agree.
Let's not be silly.
It doesn't matter, does it? It's an argument.
The one with Messi is always going to win.
I disagree, but I know I think that this is brilliant. I do just think that people are starting to ask the question now about City because they're not starting to ask it because of because it's out there. The charges are there. No, but I think people are starting to ask it
That's
now.
Why they're asking it.
I think people are starting to ask it. Fans, more people are starting to ask it now. I think primarily because it's feeling like we're in a 1-team league. And Arsenal created an illusion that we had a title race, but ultimately City won the league with 3 games to spare.
A lot of people are fuming at you, by the way, saying,
me.
Howler. Barcelona team's a lot better.
It's so irrelevant to the whole point that we're making, but who cares?
It's relevant to the point.
Okay, sorry, I'll agree with you. Yeah, anyway, back onto the point. We're talking about the Arsenal collapse and Man City's brilliant.
It was embarrassing, lads. It was embarrassing. It's as simple as that. And I've got to say, my Super 6 score, again, is embarrassing this week. I'm on course for 7 points, lads. It's embarrassing. Very keen to see what your numbers are.
I might be a billionaire.
I'm still joint top somehow out of us 3.
Quarter of a billion.
It's absolutely embarrassing. Lads, change the photo.
No,
you look good there.
More photo.
You look good.
I look orange.
I'm at 7.
Fulham Palace was the biggest draw ever in the whole league. That was easy. I predicted 4-0 today. That'd be amazing if we did that.
I'm having a
I predicted a point for Leeds. I think we all did in terms of them getting something out of West Ham. Struggled there. Obviously, Aston Villa. Liverpool got wrong. Bournemouth, Man United got completely wrong. I was hoping for a Bournemouth cheeky win. But then the Forest result against Arsenal got that spot on. I knew Arsenal would bottle it. Lovely, lads. 7 points. We're close to double figures. How did you get
spot on?
I mean, spot on in terms of I knew that Nottingham Forest would beat Arsenal because they bottled it, lads.
I had one correct score, 1-1 between Liverpool and Villa. And then my other 2 points came from United winning.
Look
Apart
at
from
that.
I've had a howler.
Why does Adam get a nice photo of himself? Why? And me and Rory are left out, hung out to dry.
Speak for yourself, mate. I look all right.
Well,
What are you doing?
let's cut
I
to
look all
Rory.
right.
Let's
What
cut
are
to
you
Rory
doing?
then.
What do you do? Fancy Adam?
Let's get. That's low res, isn't it? When was that taken?
I have absolutely no idea.
Joey Essex.
I don't know where that photo's from. Mate, maybe they AI'd me.
Are you smiling?
I'm AI'd. I don't know. I don't think
You
it's
look
me.
concerned.
They've put eyes and hair and mouth together.
Someone said in the comments last week that you got a Margaret Thatcher haircut, mate. Oh, crap me up, that one.
Yeah, make sure you join in the league, please. The code, shut up, Buvey. The code is Club S6. Download the app Super 6 on Play Store, App Store, all those kind of stores.
What number are we on, lads? 6,100?
Well over Super 6,000 already.
If you're new and you haven't downloaded the Super 6 app, download the app, please, okay? And then join our mini league, Club S6. Keen for a big number now.
Last chance to do it next week, innit?
6174. I want to get to 7,000 by the end of May. End of May, please.
Oh, right.
Okay. Club S6 on the app, Super 6 app now, please. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Super 6, for sponsoring us. We're 7 minutes away from kickoff. We've got over 5,000 people tuned in right now. Can I ask you a favor? Hit that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We want to get to 150k subs ASAP. It's Manchester City against Chelsea today. We've been speaking about Manchester City. We've been speaking about Arsenal and obviously their fortunes. Chelsea today, rocking up to the Etihad. Looking to be party poopers.
I mean, we can get a point. We won't be bottom London club, which would be nice. Yeah, but I don't think it matters, This is a day that belongs to Man City. Chelsea would obviously like to try and spoil the party, but there's nothing in it for us, really, aside from a bit of pride.
Have we done the two
doesn't
teams?
matter. No, I haven't seen the teams.
Chelsea's team, Kepa, Hall, Silva, Fofana, Azpilicueta, Loftus-Cheek, Enzo, Chalobah, Sterling, Havertz, Gallagher. City's Ortega, Walker, Lewis, Laporte, Akanji, Phillips, Gomez, Mahrez, Palmer, Foden, and Alvarez.
That's a very cheap squad, actually, for City. Very nice. That's Poundland, really, when you talk about some of the money on that, on display there. Very nice. It's a big day for a few players. Rico Lewis, I think he's been absolutely fantastic. There's an argument Rico Lewis won't feature in the FA Cup final, or he won't start the FA Cup or the Champions League final. I'd actually argue if we do win a treble or even a Champions League, a large part of the turnaround for City this season is Rico Lewis. So big shout out to Rico Lewis. He's been unbelievable.
That's where it all changed, wasn't it? Wasn't it that draw against Forest? Was it the draw against Forest where Pep Guardiola started doing the Happy Flowers chat?
In terms of in the dressing room, and he was
Remember when he
them.
was no, but I think it was the Forest happened. The charges came out, and you basically haven't lost a game of football or dropped points in a game of football.
Something like 37 to 40 points out of 42 possible. Something like that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, we've dropped only a couple of points out of it's like 30. Last week it was 37 out of 39.
Do you know the problem with doing it as dominantly as you're doing it? It's making those charges and the conversation. It's making it more. You need to be a bit. You need to
worse.
Yeah, you need to be a bit worse because this is ridiculous.
I don't know what to say.
Do you know I saw another stat? Like this one really did blow my mind. Since that Forest result, I think you've played 14 games. You've been losing in those 14 games. You've been losing for 8 minutes in 14 games.
It's crazy.
You obviously won all of them, but
absolutely crazy.
There was an 8-minute period. I think Mo Salah put Liverpool 1-0 up.
Yeah,
and then you won the game 4-1.
Yeah. But we did we did a stream after the Forest result. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
This is when we actually talk about
no,
it's bent.
I don't want to go there.
It's absolutely bent.
Royce. No.
It is, though, isn't it? Like,
it's not.
Hang on a minute.
You don't start shaking your head. No.
You're battering everyone. So the title rivalry, the title race that we've had, you've aggregate beaten Arsenal. What? How many? 8-2 on aggregate over
something like that. Yeah.
7-2 in the league.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no title race because the head-to-head is just like a complete whitewash. Yeah. You've been losing for 8 minutes in 14 games. You're going to win a treble. You're 3 times in a row. It's bent.
It's not right. I think it's too simplistic. And do you know what? We've done streams before when City have won the Premier League. I've had to defend the club as well, so I can do it again. It isn't. We spend a lot of money, and it's disgusting.
I can't lie though. There's a huge reason why.
Yeah, but if I can finish
Nobody
the point
cares
about
about
the club, if I can finish the point, is that it's comparable to Chelsea, it's comparable to PSG, it's comparable to Man United. It's actually less than Man United in the last 6 years.
Comparable to PSG because PSG were made about 50 years ago.
It's comparable to Barcelona. It's comparable to PSG.
Barcelona?
So Barcelona go spend 110 million quid on Coutinho. Similar amount to Griezmann.
Barcelona's historic.
They spent 300 million quid on 3 players, Adam. They spent 300 million quid on 3 players. Look at their academy, brother,
and the players that they produce year
Give me
in, year
one in the
out.
last 5 years has been successful. Give me one.
Look, their success and what they did with Pep was based
We've had a lot of success
their
from our academy. Rico
not
Lewis,
purely money.
Phil Foden isn't.
In fact, a lot of their big signings failed.
No, it's absolute rubbish.
It's not.
We spend a lot of money.
You're talking nonsense.
It's not 10. It's not 10 times Man
This
United.
is why no one cares. This is why
I
people
care.
would rather
I
not
care.
see
And
Liverpool
City fans watching the
or
stream care.
Arsenal win things because when City did, it's like, all right,
congrats. They got a bigger fan base, more followers on Instagram.
It'd be like if you got beat in a race by some juiced up geezer. You're like,
but
all right, cool,
this narrative
man.
is so.
You won.
The narrative,
You won.
Adam, is so reductive.
You know what I mean?
If you were winning the league right now, obviously it's not going to happen. You've not done it in 10 years. I'm not sat here caring about you winning the league. So I don't expect you to care about City winning the league. What we've done is special on the football pitch, and the money behind it is
but there's a big reason for it.
It's not alien to the other clubs that we're competing with. Chelsea of the world. Spurs spent 150 million quid in the summer.
Do you know what you've managed to do though? Through spend if we look at the first half against Real Madrid, that was footballing perfection, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like that was actually a perfect performance. It could have been more. It could have been more goals. But apart from that, it was total footballing perfection. Luka Modric looked fragile. I thought Karim Benzema looked old. You just didn't look. You looked perfect. And up until I don't think footballing perfection has ever happened before. I can't think of a performance where it's ever happened. Like any individual performance.
It was amazing.
Like even in the Fergie glory days, or even in like Mourinho's pomp. The Guard of Honour is happening, by the way. Elliot's obsessed for me to talk about it. The Guard of Honour is happening right now.
You know what's mad? Talking about Coventry City, who could potentially come up. When they left the Premier League and got relegated, guess who got relegated with them? You mugs. That's how mad it is.
Yeah, we
basically
relegated.
Coventry City.
Guess what?
Coventry and City went down the same year.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird how history works. You've been relegated.
Yeah, it's weird how history works.
Dennis Law relegated you in the 1970s.
No, he didn't. So if you're a
That's a
City
myth.
fan, you'd know it was a myth. You'd know it's a myth.
It's an urban myth, but he basically relegated you.
I don't know if it's urban. Just a myth.
Either way, it
absolute
happened.
myth. We were going down anyway.
So you got relegated.
We were going down anyway.
So Man United have you got this unbelievable right to win everything? Is that right?
No one said that.
You basically apply it every single week.
No one said that.
You do.
It's facts though. If Usain Bolt got beat in a race by someone that was juiced up,
Chelsea have done
he wouldn't really care.
So what Chelsea have done in the last 2 transfer windows, why is that not egregious to you then?
It is.
You know what? That's why City...
It is.
But if
it is, mate.
Have you ever
watched any of my videos?
What City have done well is they've invested it very well.
Of course, but you know what I'm trying to say.
They've invested it very well. You can't deny that. And what they've done with it, you can't deny what they've done with it is incredible.
Can we at least agree
and
that the
Todd Bowley
numbers
could take a lot out of their book?
No, it is. Look, Buvey, you are correct. I don't like the spend at Chelsea, but if we're going to spend it, I wish we spend it a bit better.
Yeah,
and that's what you can't say. That's what you have to acknowledge about City. Like, if there are issues going on, the football team is the most perfect football team I believe has ever existed.
Yeah. The only point I want to get is, all right, if Adam doesn't like the money, if Rory, you don't like the money we spend, fair enough. But all I'm trying to say is it's comparable to at least 5 to 10 clubs in European football. It's very comparable. It's not 10x Man United spend. It's all on a very similar plane.
On the pitch.
The money that...
But where's it come from?
We're seeing Akanji score a goal against Real Madrid.
The whole point is where it's come from.
Alvarez,
on the pitch as well, I think it's slightly different. Like Guardiola's rate, Guardiola's backroom staff all coming, like all of that needs to be taken into account. The fact that you managed to trigger the release clause of Erling Haaland for 50, and that's obviously gone down as a £50 million signing, but nobody else could have paid the agent. Nobody else could have paid the father.
Real Madrid. They're about to sign Jude Bellingham for 150 million.
Real Madrid.
But if we win a treble, we'll get 300 million quid.
Win a lot of their thing.
Really? Is that what it is?
So where does the income... The income we're looking at a new deal for the Premier League TV rights in the next few years. It's astronomical money. So how come Nottingham Forest, they get promoted? They spend 100 million quid in the summer.
I think you're missing the point completely.
I don't understand your point.
Is it?
Are we spending a lot of money? It's relatively new money for Man City compared to where we are.
Where the money
of course.
comes from. That's the whole point. And it's the point.
You can't prove that it's disingenuous at this stage. We've won a lot of football matches. We've won a lot of trophies. That is
what
income.
What do you think happens? Even if any of these allegations stick, what happens? Our
City
titles,
fans think, you know it deep down. You know it.
Our titles withdrawn.
A lot of City fans know it as well.
Like ultimately, will it be titles rescinded and relegation? Is that what it is?
I think football's a murky and very politically ambiguous sport. We don't know what's happening. We don't know why the World Cup was held in Qatar. We don't know why these sponsorship deals are happening at various stages around the world. It's disgusting nonetheless. So you can't say that you know anything more than I do about Man City.
Do you know what, Buvey? I don't think football is even slightly on its own here.
That's what that is.
I don't think football's any different to almost any industry. What?
I'm just moaning about City.
Heads
in sand, though. That's what literally. All I know is about football.
What do I know then? Now, tell me something. Tell me something that I'm hiding from you. Okay, so my head's in the sand. I'm hiding. What do I know then?
Daft, innit?
What do I know?
Tell me. All of you like do. Tell me. What do I know? It's always the same. It's like McKola as well. Always. No. All I care about is the football. It's like fucking hell. Let's stop being naive here. You know what I mean? Let's not be naive. Like, that it's dodgy.
Okay,
you know that City are absolutely financially dope.
You've made a massive
point,
that for a fact. And you're unable to use specific piece of information.
Where did City's money come from? Their success.
It came from external investment, like Newcastle United, like Chelsea from a Russian oligarch 10 years before.
All right, where did it? Is it from their history, from their past, from their traditions, from their success? No, it's not. It's financially doped, and you know it, and that's why people don't really care about it. It's like
you don't care.
You see about 10 people rocking up outside the Etihad, waving around bananas and sharks and shit, and it's like, look at the state of them. They don't even care.
You represent yourself.
Why should we care?
When Man City were playing in 3rd division of English football, we had some of the highest attendances ever seen. There was a game against Stoke City. Over 80,000 people went to see it.
Well done, you've been on Wikipedia, but it doesn't change the fact that.
What do you mean?
The team.
Where'd you get your information from then? What do you mean Wikipedia? What does that even mean? Give me a piece of information you get first hand then.
Where'd you get your first? Putting out stats for no reason. It's like,
how is that no reason, Ad? That's to justify my point.
What does that mean?
You're making a very big case about the football club I've supported my whole life, that we're absolutely nothing without the money. We won league titles and FA Cups.
True.
We won league.
Why can't you admit that?
Mate, we won league titles and FA Cups in the late 60s with real football players, with real football fans.
Why can't you admit that?
Admit what?
That you wouldn't be anywhere without it.
Why would I admit that if I know that Man City have won titles?
Bro, you'd be floundering about
with Colin Bell,
up and down,
Mike
up
Summerby.
and down, like West Brom and that. That's exactly what you boys would be doing right now.
When have I denied that? You're talking about a period of our history in our 90s when we got relegated.
You're tying yourself in knots, bro.
No, I'm not. You cut corners out of arguments when you don't like the argument.
I didn't.
I'm serving an argument back to you.
You just said
in the late 60s we won a league title. Is that true or false?
What's that got to do
with
now?
In the 70s you got relegated.
What's
true
that
or
got
false?
to do now?
True or false? You got relegated.
What's that got to do now?
It's not now. You're talking
about
the 90s.
What? When you won the title in 68,
we got relegated in the 90s.
United won the European Cup, and no one gave a fuck about
Adam, we got relegated in the 90s. So why are you picking and choosing history? In the 70s, you got relegated.
Bro, I don't know what you're talking about now. I genuinely.
So when did we get relegated?
I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
We've just won the Premier League title. I don't care if you like it or not, but we're here talking about City doing well on the football pitch. Don't bring up us getting relegated in the 90s, and I bring up the 1970s when you got relegated. You don't like it.
Are you talking, bro?
Am I wrong?
My point here was based off the fact you just went.
He's done well.
That the financial situation.
I don't want to argue, bro. I don't want to.
You can't say City are where they are.
I
say it, and I quote. You said you can't say City are where they are because of the money when you literally can. That's the whole point of why you are where you are.
There's a big gap between what you've said. You can't say my football club that I supported all my life wouldn't exist without the money.
You're talking nonsense.
There's
no point. There's no point carrying on the debate if you're just going to keep moving the debate. It's like you literally just said.
Bro, you made a very disrespectful remark about one of the oldest football clubs in this country.
It's plastic. That's why no one cares. Nobody
No one cares. No one cares.
I must admit I care because I wish it didn't happen, and therefore I care. Oh no. Oh no!
Who was that?
There is something amazing about this City team. There is no two ways about it. And
by the way, I'm not arguing
the treble is now more likely than not. Is there a world where the Inter Milan could stop the treble? Do you think? Because I don't think you.
I think they're getting very highly disrespected.
What, you think people are just writing it off too?
I think that's unfair. If you're in a Champions League final, you're in a Champions League final for a reason.
But that side of the draw was so kind.
We've seen incredible things. The only thing that makes me doubt them, and this may be harsh, is if they have like a manager that makes you think, I don't look at Inzaghi and think he can get the better of Pep.
No.
But they've got some incredible defenders. Maybe Inzaghi's better than I give him credit for. He's got them this far.
Yeah.
They dispatched of AC Milan quite easily.
They've beaten AC Milan.
They've got a very good goalkeeper, solid defence, and they've got attackers that could possibly, on the break, in the same way Mount and Havertz did, potentially hit you on the break.
When you think Dzeko start, Lukaku's on the bench, that's goals, isn't it? Like it's potential. Go on, son. It's potential goals at least. That's good. That's good.
Penalty, isn't it?
Free kick, innit?
Penalty. Penalty, definite. Yeah, it will be. God, imagine if they win a treble. It's just unbelievable. Especially if you look at the way that they've done it as well. Bayern Munich in one leg, but Real Madrid in the next. Inter, who obviously have prestige. Oh no.
I can't believe Ruben. I was about to call him Luben.
Ruben Loftus.
Yeah,
Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, he's. He needs to not play.
By the way, you like criticising my Morgan Gibbs White shout. How good was he against Arsenal?
Yeah,
he's basically kept Forest up, mate.
And of course, we are delighted to say that we've partnered with NordVPN. We have partnered with them for about half a season, and we are delighted. They are wonderful chaps, and NordVPN is the best place to go for all of your VPN action. Please make sure that you support Nord. The link is in the description below because they've been kind enough to support us. It really does help us out. Trust me, I'm relatively new to the VPN action and it's a life changer. So make sure that you get involved. It allows you to watch football games where perhaps you shouldn't see football games. It allows you to, I think, trick the internet into thinking that you're elsewhere. So should you want to watch something on Netflix, it allows you to do it. Should you want to watch maybe a game of football that you shouldn't see, it allows you to do it. And it is so affordable. It is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee. That's literally what it's going to cost you a month. And you can partner with 6 different devices off the back of one subscription. It is superb, eh, Booth?
I'm loving it. It's the fastest VPN service of its kind on the internet. I'm using it to book my flights for the summer. If we win a treble, I'm going to Ibiza. I'm having a good time. What can I say? And obviously, a VPN like NordVPN gives you the fastest possible VPN service and the cheapest possible flights and obviously trains in this country. If you use a VPN, it stops websites tracking you, etc., keeping the costs very, very low. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, head over to nordvpn.com/the club for your exclusive discounts and offers as well. 40% off plus 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you very much to NordVPN for sponsoring the show. It's still 0-0 between Manchester City and Chelsea. Manchester City in the final third attacking here. I'm unfamiliar with a lot of their shirt numbers and what a lot of their new
It's Cole Palmer left wing who looks very,
So
very sharp. He whipped it in just a minute ago.
Is that
Cole Palmer here? Yeah.
Palmer
yeah.
there.
I think he's
47.
Yeah,
Isn't
47. He's won his 5th Premier League title, lads. That's
It must be
2
such a
more
weird.
than Vieira.
It must be such a weird
big names.
atmosphere to win the league without playing it. Like, I feel like we've had like occasionally some uninspiring title wins. Like we beat Palace at home one year, and it didn't feel like as joyful as, I don't know. It wasn't official, but we went away to Anfield, and it felt like we'd won the league. Obviously, we beat Man United at home to win the league. Like, it feels very different. But what we've never done is win it by default. Arsenal, you didn't win the league. You haven't won a game of football to win the league. Arsenal lost the game, and therefore you were champions. What?
Did that
Did it
ever
take
happen
anything
to you?
away? No, it's never happened to us.
We had it with there was one where all the players at Steve Bruce's house. I remember that one.
What, when you were a
That
kid?
one was-
What, when he was a
when I
player?
a kid,
yeah.
when Steve Bruce was playing, so they were all at his house
And you won it
watching the game. Yeah. I think that was
So
might
you-
have been Newcastle. That
the year that Newcastle.
That was the issue for Leicester, wasn't it? Because
Leicester,
they couldn't
we
win
beat. We drew with Tottenham.
it. Yeah, that was.
there was a
yeah.
was
They
there a
were all
year
at Jamie
where
Vardy's
Arsenal
house.
played
Yeah.
Leeds and we didn't play and won the league because Leeds got us a
Harry
result.
Kewell. Harry Kewell scored a wicked goal.
Blue
at-
shirt Leeds were wearing.
Harry Kewell scored a blinder at Highbury. And but I don't know if did that give you the league as well.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing performance, but I
Been
think
a
it
few
finished
times
3-2 at Highbury. I remember Mark Viduka scored and Harry Kewell scored an amazing goal.
It's always good to play and win it.
No, I think so.
When
I think
you
so.
win.
Like, if I'm being really sneery about Man City, I'm quite glad that they didn't get to beat us. Obviously, us. But even if it wasn't us, I don't really want them to get to win the league.
Like you remember the Reebok.
Yeah, mate.
Like that's the day. Was that
Like the Reebok
first
was
time you won it?
Yeah, Reebok was the one. First time for
Premier
50 years. Yeah. First time for 50 years. Like Lampard going around Jaskalainen.
Yeah.
That was the moment, you know.
We
Lampard
had
scored two
one
that day.
at Ewood Park, Rooney's penalty.
Yeah.
and we knew, I think that was 19.
I tell you a killer for me. We played at home. You played away at Wigan.
Oh,
You played away at Wigan.
Getting 2-0 Giggs scored.
And we needed Wigan to get a result.
Yeah.
So we're at the game, and we I think we ended up drawing anyway.
Yeah.
But I think we went 1-0 up, and you were still 0-0. And it was like
Pissing
back in the
down with
day.
rain at Wigan.
We got people. I'm sure
Radios.
social media
We used to have radios, like, holding
like listening to
there.
the
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And the geezer with the radio becomes like the most popular man in the stand. Mate, what's going on? What's going on? Like now, everyone's obviously just.
You know
plugged
what
in.
I love now as well? You hear fake, like people go, "Oh, I think there's been a goal," and then it goes round, and before
That
you know
happened
it,
at Anfield.
yeah,
Do you remember last
with
year when City won?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this like fake,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
proper celebrations at Anfield, wasn't there? When City were playing.
Apparently that
Villa.
started from the away end, didn't it?
I don't know.
Did it? Did they do it?
Apparently that started from the away
That's
end.
clever. Yeah.
That was a mad game when you think about it. Yeah.
Gundogan.
Yeah, Gundogan. Sterling
Because you
made
could
a
easily do it.
difference.
You know that
Zinchenko.
person sat next to the stewards in the away
Yeah.
end, the home end.
They could start.
He
it.
could say to his mate,
Let's do it.
"Hey, I think he scored," and then they can go.
Yeah.
He just spreads
No, it's a
around.
great. It's a great. Yeah. In terms of a wind up, it's brilliant.
Got some,
I hate them games when you've already won the league and you play and it's just dead. Like I remember we had a 0-0 with Arsenal when we'd won the league.
Feels-
Horrible.
Yeah.
We had a game against.
At least it was against Arsenal, though. At least
yeah.
it wasn't a 0-0
There was one against
Palace.
West Ham. West Ham beat us to stay up. Tevez.
Yeah.
away.
Had
And it
you
was
already won the league that year?
We had a Champions League final to look forward to, but it was just like the last day of the season.
Yeah.
It's dead. Go on.
Yeah, got some breaking news for you, boys. Brighton, with their win against Southampton, have now confirmed that they'll get European football for the first time in the club.
Will it be conference or is it? It's definitely conference, and then
they've
it
got
might.
you've got European football.
Wow.
Wow.
I hope.
It's hardly
I
surprising.
hope they
is
get
it?
Europa.
They deserve it.
Because
I
I
hope
think
they
they'd be
get
good
Europa.
in the Europa. And
Yeah.
Spurs, that would mean, are in the conference. I think.
Yeah. The only reason why it could be better for them to be in the conferences, they could do something like they could win it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like I don't think they're going to win the Europa League.
But
No,
they
yeah,
could
you're
win.
right. You're
I
right, yeah.
think
Look at Juventus
obviously
in
it's
there.
difficult
Yeah.
because you have
Seville.
the Champions League teams drop in.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help. But given their recruitment, and if they were in the Europa League and managed to hold on, I know McAllister might go and a few others, but given the recruitment that happened, De Zerbi, he's the kind of coach that would come up with a plan for all these big teams.
thing is
and
as
would
well,
potentially,
Yeah.
You know
and
the
they've got the
players.
experience of beating Man United, beating Liverpool
true, yeah.
occasionally. You know,
do the
yeah.
players
City-
there that are potentially being eyed up by other clubs, whether it's McAllister, Caicedo, Ferguson, whoever, do they suddenly look in the mirror and go, my current surroundings, the club I'm at, the vision of the manager, the ambition of the club, does it become a more appealing prospect?
But
do
then
you
they
potentially
probably
stay?
go, I've left the club in a strong position.
No, but do
So
you,
if I leave, I don't feel guilty.
I think
because-
it's where you're from. I think Caicedo's come out and said. I think his dad came out and said about Real Madrid. I think some of these players,
well, he said
culturally
goodbye
want to
in
play.
January. Do you remember he put out that?
Yeah. Oh wow, City through. Oh, get in there! Unbelievable. Julian Alvarez.
He's a class player.
1-0, game over.
I mean, the game was over prior to that, mate.
Thanks for watching the club.
Yeah, really delighted. Thanks. I'm so ready for this season to end. I can't tell you how
I think so
ready
are
for
you
this-
players.
That's 21 goals.
Yeah.
For Alvarez.
All comps, I think. Yeah. I think it's
can't-
21 goals, all comps.
He
21.
starts
I
for
just
like
can't
Might
believe.
be wrong.
most. He starts for United. Starts for
Obviously,
start for
Chelsea.
Liverpool.
Yeah, they accommodate him. They make it work. If you've got if Jurgen Klopp had Julian Alvarez,
Start for
he'd
Arsenal. Starts for Arsenal.
Yeah, starts for us.
17 all comps. I think it's 21
Start
goal
for Newcastle?
contributions.
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts.
He starts
I don't
for
think there's a
everyone.
club in the country that he doesn't start for.
Apart from City.
Look at his finish.
Yeah, apart from the club he's at.
Finish. Mate, that finish is a
Look
fantastic.
at that pass from. Is it
Fofana, 80 mil centre back. Cole Palmer into Alvarez.
Like,
Bang.
do you know when a player does that? It's all very well sort of talking about Lampard's deficiency, and this isn't a defence for Lampard. I'm talking. I can be fairly scathing about lots of Chelsea players. I don't think Azpilicueta should be on the pitch, right?
Yeah.
But say I don't want. The reason I'm saying Azpilicueta is because when I say Lampard, everyone like gets their back up. There's nothing that Azpilicueta like. There's just
No,
nothing.
just a terrible ball
You've
out.
just literally given them a goal. You've got the assist there.
He's
Like, what
actually
you
good on
doing?
the ball as well. That's his thing, isn't it, Fofana? If it's not that, what is he good at?
He's fast.
Is he?
Yeah, he's rapid.
He's made a Weetabix, isn't he?
No, he can be injured. I mean, he had a big injury.
His knees are made of
He
Weetabix.
can be injured, but if he gets moving, mate,
Mate, that's like me. If I lose 10 kilograms, you see me moving.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
Do you know what I do find? Do you know what I do find quite frustrating when people? And I've just done it there, and I'm surprised you didn't pick up on it. You know when you ask me about the qualities of a footballer, and I start talking about things that aren't about being a footballer.
Yeah.
Like it's like when I don't know if you start talking about Wout Weghorst as a striker or any striker. You know when you start go, what's he good at? You go, really works hard, He's really handy when you're defending set pieces.
Yeah.
You're like,
Works
wait, he's a
fine.
centre
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
When that's your main trait as a striker,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I seen him cry when he scored a goal for us, and I thought,
Did he?
a striker crying, you should be used to crying. You
That's
when
how surprised he
Balotelli went,
was.
it's
That's how
like the,
surprised-
it's like the postman delivering your post. It's like he's crying. It's like
What game was that?
Because also, I think
What
when
game
you
was
know
that?
when you
From the
cry,
league?
I think there's an element of shock. I think to cry in any
I
situation,
think
there has to be an
God
element
bless
of
him.
shock.
I think he's
'Cause,
aware that he's very lucky and he's won the lottery.
No, because also like to cry.
Unlike Buvey.
You know, for tears to come. I don't think
No,
you cry.
When I first did the club with you lads, first stream, check it out. I was crying my eyes. I couldn't believe I was in the company of
You're
Adam
the Van
McKola,
Veghorst
I really get
of the
it.
Adam
channel.
McKola, the greatest debater of football in the world, and Rory Jennings. It's unbelievable.
They call me the master debater.
the master legal
Oh,
debater.
they're taking a piss.
2-0,
They're taking the
2-0,
piss.
2-0. Oh,
They literally take the piss.
It could have been 10-0 already.
Phil Foden shot from 30 yards out.
Over or
I just
under
thought-
5 goals for City.
Today,
I put 4 in
under
my
5.
Super 6.
Don't, come on, bit of respect. Under 5.
El, what you put your money on?
I've already backed -2.
Yeah, but okay.
Oh,
That's answer my
wow.
question.
I'll go
Yeah.
4-0.
Conor Gallagher running about. He's a bit headless chicken, isn't he?
No, I think
Do you like him?
I do like him. Well, part of the reason I like him as well is because I think there's room for a Conor Gallagher in every squad.
Especially if Poch goes. He'll like him.
Yeah, I
Poch
think
will
you
like
need a Conor Gallagher. And look, there's a lot of sneering at Gallagher, particularly on social media, because, you know, he's erratic. But I quite like that. You know, that busy, combative, aggressive nature of a footballer.
bit more quality on the ball.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a good player.
With the right culture, the right
Definitely.
tactics and system, that is
I like-
massive.
I
It's
like-
like Mason Mount. It's like
Yeah.
with that commitment and energy, I think he's got some quality to him as well.
But also, I
You
just
can be
think that
useful.
every squad,
It's just whether he can do it at Chelsea.
every
at
squad really
Champions League
benefits
level.
from players like him. Like, you need players like Gallagher at very particular.
Do you think
stages
Mason
of the
Mount
game.
stays, by the way?
No, I don't. I desperately want him to stay, but I don't think he stays. No.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you guys, actually. So if Brighton lose against Manchester City on Thursday,
next week.
which is not a given
Yeah.
by any means, Villa and Brighton play for like the ability to finish above each other.
Oh,
The
right.
last day
Bit
of
of
the
a
season.
playoff.
Cool.
So they could be like, because Villa have been fantastic. They should have beat Liverpool. Obviously, they had a missed penalty in there. Late goal from Firmino, which I think if that's not his last game of the season, last game for Liverpool, he don't get the end of that.
Yeah.
See the way he finished it, with like the
Yeah.
bottom of his foot and fell over. So Villa against De Zerbi against Emery, Villa against Brighton. That's
Yeah.
huge. At
Yeah,
Villa
huge.
Park as well.
Might be the biggest game because I think relegation could be decided relatively quickly.
Yeah, I just
If
can't
Leicester
believe.
City
I
lose
just can't
again?
believe that Tottenham. I just can't believe that Tottenham are pretty much like now. I feel like they're likely to not make Europe at all.
They're a national embarrassment to football.
I just can't
it's
understand.
as simple as
They had it in the bag, didn't they? European football. They had European football in the bag. They may not have had Champions League football in the bag or whatever, but I think every single person at Christmas, even when it was going wrong for them, surely anticipated them at very worst making the Conference League.
I don't know. I think Spurs fans don't really care, do they? About
No, I don't
You know.
think. I don't. As a club, I don't think they particularly care about it. I don't think the conference is.
they
think
need
it's
they need
neither
a
here nor
reset, mate. I think they need to go back to. I'm hearing an Eric Dyer contract extension.
No.
I'm hearing Longley permanent.
Longer.
That's what I'm hearing.
See the
Beautiful
way-
scenes.
do you see
Beautiful.
Where are
scenes.
you hearing these things?
It's called social media. Oh no, Wikipedia, according to you, mate. It's Wikipedia.
Is that a mental asylum
Do you see
somewhere?
the way that they were pulled apart?
That's crazy, isn't it?
Daniel Levy's there going,
Yeah.
I'm going to give
Shouting
Eric Dyer
stuff
a new
out, yeah.
contract.
But that's the thing. They won't go out and back the manager enough to replace Eric Dyer. That's the issue.
It's sad.
It's crazy. The Spurs need to go back to the basics of they need 11 players that are all of a youngish age. You know, not these kind of Mudriks at 85 million quid, but you know,
I
young,
was listening
hungry
to the
players.
radio the other day as well, and a Spurs fan called in, and look, I know you can't judge all fans by radio phone-ins, but there was a Spurs fan that was like defending he was like, but look at the stadium we got. And it's like, how long are you going to cling on to the stadium?
Do Arsenal fans say that
No,
about the fact they didn't have the money
they
to
did.
win the title
They did.
10
Yeah,
years
yeah.
after the Emirates?
Yeah,
They were like,
do they defend
Daniel
it?
Levy's such a great businessman, but it's like...
No, but Booth, if you bring up the fact that Arsene Wenger went nearly a decade without a trophy, the first thing an Arsenal fan will say to you
It's
is
the Emirates.
the stadium.
But
No, they say, I quote, he built the stadium.
Yeah, okay, but
Like he was there.
do you two think that is
Laying brick.
justified?
no, of course not. They lost the final to Birmingham in that time. Of course not. They literally lost the final to Birmingham. Birmingham got relegated.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say
no.
is...
Arbitrary Martins.
Yeah.
So they'd rather have stayed at Highbury and won a few more league titles.
If they'd stayed at Highbury, they would have won.
But you know the
Yeah,
stadium
well, exactly.
is huge in terms of your revenue, and then the more revenue you bring in on a match day. So if you're bringing in 3
But I
million
don't think
more on a
fans
match
who
day,
go to stadiums think like that.
No,
I think
but-
the international fans
but in
often
terms
go,
of, but
just
fans
move
that go to
stadiums.
stadiums do care about whether their team can compete, make signings, and to do that, you have to have your income and your revenue levels be high so you can spend more. It's one of those
I
things.
only ever
It's
went
like
to
once
Highbury
teams
once.
get a
I don't
new
know if Highbury
once
was
Everton
falling
get a
apart.
new
Was it
stadium-
falling
No, it
apart?
was a beautiful stadium.
It wasn't like it wasn't Goodison or anything.
No. It's not. It wasn't like that.
No.
It was a glorious stadium. I mean, it was a listed building. You know, it still stood. It was. I mean, it's you know the traditions of the marble halls and all that Arsenal fans talk about.
Yeah,
in fact,
Highbury's class.
In fact, I think they had a kit fairly recently that weirdly looked like blood-stained. But the point of it, and I think it's a lovely thing to echo, was the marble halls, the traditions of the marble halls. It's like that stadium and the front of it in particular, you know, the white building, the iconic white building, that's like London architecture that should have been preserved. And
They've
I mean,
kept it in the block of flats, haven't they?
They've kept it, but it's
in the
it's now
garden of
some-
the flats. You can see
like
the
the
plaque.
penalty spot and the
penalty spot,
centre
the
circle and that.
spot.
It's like some geezer's garden.
Yeah,
It's a disgrace.
it's crazy, isn't it?
It's a disgrace. It should have been protected and
But
they
the
should have
Emirates looks
redeveloped
old
it.
now. It looks old
Well, it is
compared
dated.
to. It's
There's
dated.
a lot of
It hasn't
people
aged well.
like copied them in the stadium and like.
Well, it's just
for, like,
Stadio
how
de Luz,
they-
isn't it?
they
But
did-
but it's it's identical to the Benfica ground.
Mm.
Is it Benfica?
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
But it's so dated, and this is why Tottenham's ground is the best
I
ground in the
meant, I
country.
meant the Portuguese stadium. And like for someone sat at home thinking, Sunderland
what- yeah,
stadium's
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But do you know what's? This is why Tottenham Stadium is so good, because it's learnt from a lot of the mistakes made by other new grounds.
Yeah.
So Arsenal's new ground is a great example of it. They've got the acoustics right in there this season because they've been very good, and the Ashburton Army thing that I think a lot of people sneer at has really got going. But you know, when you have a middle tier, the whole middle tier is corporate. It immediately takes the sting out of the atmosphere because you've got geezers below in the lower tier who've paid 80 quid, 60 quid a ticket, who want to make a bit of a racket. Then you've got geezers in the upper tier that want to do that, but there's no continuity because people in the middle, it's people who may not even support
Because
the
we
club.
have that in the Stretford end. There's corporate in the middle.
In the
I
Stretford?
think it's been taken out.
In the Stretford. That's
Yeah, but it's been
such
taken
a
out
bad move, man.
for. I think.
See,
for
how's that happened? Because
upcoming
like,
season.
even though I don't support Manchester United, right? But you know, if I were on the board of Manchester United or I were in that meeting, I'd go, hang on a minute, don't do that. It's a Stretford end. It's iconic. It means so much. Why are you doing that?
Because
Don't
Man,
do it then.
Man United fans don't run the club. I mean, that's the issue.
No, but you know,
so
you know
alien
the
to
people
football.
who do run the club.
Yeah.
They must know that.
Yeah, they must see
Or
the
they just don't
revenue
care.
from
Yeah.
what it currently is or whatever. It's just mad.
It's like-
There was
it's
a
like
lot
at
of
Chelsea.
changes going on at the ground at the point, so it's easy to slip.
Do you know at Chelsea,
over
like
the
the
years.
away fans now, they sit in the shed end. The shed end is like the spiritual home. It's the iconic part of the old ground, certainly, before it was redeveloped. It's the away end. Like, don't put the away fans in there. Stick them in the East Upper. You know, hey, stick them up there.
I
a
hate
mile
that.
away.
We give the away end at Old Trafford the best
The corner.
of Old Trafford.
Yeah, it's a good corner.
And we should stick
It's a
him
good
in
rap
tier
round.
3 of
I'll
the
tell you
North
where's
End,
awful
like
at Old
Newcastle
Trafford,
do
though.
to everyone.
Do you know where's awful? The two things I really dislike about Old Trafford, if you're going to Manchester United away, the wrap round, if you're in that, great. But there's like an additional little bit that's dearer.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in there. In the past,
And
I've been
it's
in there
kind of
and I've
separate to
climbed
the
up.
away end, isn't it?
Yeah, it's separate. It's separate and it's dearer because it's like in the next stand. I've climbed up. But the other thing, I've done it in the cup. When we played you in the Champions League, I remember Giggs scored against us. We lost 1-0 at home, Rooney, and then we went away. And I think we got it back. We went one. I think we got it. We might have even gone 1-0 up or 1-1. And then Giggs scored an amazing
won
goal.
3-1,
Chipped
didn't
over, 3-1. Chipped over for Giggs and he hit it first time. But they stuck us in the upper tier. Grim up there. Grim. You know, like the upper tier above the where the away fans naturally would be.
Yeah, the East stand
That's where you
upper.
should put them all, though.
Now, really, we should put them North stand upper.
Which
tier
would
3.
be where the opposite end of
Stick them up there, man.
yeah.
Because we give them a prime spot.
The city
make
mess
loads
you
of
up.
noise.
City mess you up
Yeah.
because they give you the same amount of
They also
tickets,
always
but they give you
reduce our allocation
over
as well.
3 tiers. So you get the bottom tier. It's quite narrow and it's over 3 tiers. So you get like the bottom tier singing a different song to the top tier, and again, no.
Yeah, the
harmony.
view of the away end from Old Trafford is lovely. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a great corner.
Good away end.
Yeah, it's
great-
good. Yeah,
It's like,
Stanford
it's
Bridge.
ridiculous.
Stanford Bridge is the same.
there's no
One of the
screen
best
there.
seats in the
It's
house.
weird.
No,
isn't it?
we don't have any restricted views though as well
No restricted views.
at Old Trafford.
My season ticket was restricted view at Chelsea. Like
So there's no need for screens unless like obviously people want to see replays and stuff.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, stuff.
We
like that.
finally actually last game had Wi-Fi at Old Trafford for the first time
Did it work though?
ever. Yeah, it
I feel
worked.
like stuff like that, like
like
train
off and on.
Wi-Fi, never works.
yeah,
It's like
Plain
BT
Wi-Fi.
Open Zone,
Yeah,
isn't it?
oh,
It's
no.
like-
yeah.
It's like I got put in all my details. What the fuck is all this about?
Oh,
I don't think BT
like
Open
train
Zones
Wi-Fi.
ever worked for me.
it's a
Has
myth.
anyone
If
ever
you
used
sign into train Wi-Fi, there's something seriously wrong with you, lads. Seriously wrong with you. If you sit on a train, you got 5G, and you log into the Wi-Fi, you're missing something.
your 5G?
You're missing something.
Your 5G is intermittent, isn't it? It's like on a plane.
Yeah, it goes up and down. It goes up and down. But if you're sat there thinking the train Wi-Fi is working any better, you're missing something.
No,
What is
You're
it?
missing-
A little
you're
modem
missing
by the
something.
driver?
It's nothing. It don't exist. It's just a way of getting your email address. It's never going to work. They just want your email address. It's,
And they
it's
sell
literally
that
never
shit
going to
as
work.
well.
Yeah.
So much.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting, some of the emails I get. And by the way, some of the
That's the beside.
By the way,
going
what
on,
you
that's
mean,
why.
like,
I got
into your
3
spam
emails on my life from Real Madrid fans.
And that's why you use Nord in
In
it.
Spanish.
Paragraph.
In Spanish.
Fuck off. Like that.
In Spanish.
Well, a bit of English and Spanish. Either
Did
or.
you have to put it into Google Translate?
Honestly, and I reply, I said, I like that
Did you
emoji.
really?
Like that emoji. Like,
You actually got into an email exchange.
That happened to me.
Look,
once.
if you find my email and then you tweet, you email
you're
me
going to
stuff,
reply.
Of course
You're
I am.
opening yourself up to a
Course
real
I am.
problem here.
Please don't email me.
Happened to me once. I had an email, and I put it through Google Translate, and it was like a death threat, and I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. Like, I should have left it. Ignorance was bliss. Now I know someone wants to kill me.
Oh, lovely football.
Can you imagine how Raheem... Do you think Raheem Sterling would get a nice reception? At City?
Yeah, he has made a few comments. I think there's been 2 different interviews. When he first left, he was about being disappointed about playing time, even though he got certain minutes in football matches, but he didn't deserve to. He was always trusted by Guardiola, and then he came out, I think, in January time, and made further comments about sort of leaving City and being frustrated about that as well. So there's a couple of interviews that I just think
Sterling
not
just
fan.
doesn't strike me as a Chelsea player. He just doesn't look like, like if you told me
Yeah.
where's Sterling in it, I would never have said Chelsea.
But you know that Conte, I know it's
London, though.
years ago, but you know
I know,
that
of course,
Conte
yeah,
side
he's
they had.
close
That
to
Conte side, you
Coleman.
would have played well for that Conte side.
No.
As an example, that kind of aggressive
He doesn't
winger.
look right in a Chelsea shirt to me.
But I think he's a
I
bit.
was really excited. I thought he was going to be brilliant. You know?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to
But
be
you never
brilliant.
look right in a City shirt. Does that sound weird?
Nah,
I
he did.
don't identify him as a City proper City player. He obviously was. He's a legend in his own right. But even with Liverpool, is he a Liverpool icon? Is he a City icon?
I think
Is
he's
he
a
Chelsea?
City icon, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to tell you that, but in my head, he's a City
And he's
icon.
had some
You know
great
when some
tournaments
players,
for England.
like Vincent Company, he bleeds blue. You know that. You know,
Does he?
does Sterling?
Problem that.
Well, yeah, it's a lack of oxygen. But but you know what I'm trying to say? It's like so. I don't know if you lads have had it with players that have done well at your clubs that just don't feel
Yeah.
Man United or don't feel Chelsea.
I
Do you
kind
know
of
what I'm trying to say?
I kind of know what you mean. There are certain players who, when they leave, they're no longer. I'm not saying this is Sterling, but certain players who have played for Chelsea and even done quite well for Chelsea. Once they're gone, they're gone. You know,
That's
like
what it
I've
feels
got-
like.
I've
I
got
love
no-
Sterling.
I'm trying to think of a player like that.
What? Who at Manchester United?
But I don't really care about.
Certain. I
Like
feel
Bernardo Silva,
Like
left, that'd be
Tevez, I
gut.
do care about that.
Mm,
Like what happened, like the reason we hate him so much because we care, innit? So it's like,
yeah.
you do care about that. So you can't say you don't.
I mean, can you really
Uh,
care about Phil Jones when he leaves? Like, it's just
I was,
he's a
I
player
was
who
very,
played for your
I
club.
was
kind of.
very gutted for him. On a, like to, you know, what? Obviously footballers are very highly paid and handsomely paid, and they earn ridiculous amounts of money and all those kind of things. But also, I kind of look at someone that achieved the dream, yeah. Which again, you could say he's already done that. So what does it matter?
Mhm.
Don't feel sorry for him.
Did he win the
But-
league?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's won the league. He's achieved a dream, played for Man United, played for his country, all those kind of things. And you get injuries.
Pillock.
You come back, you get another injury, you get another injury, you get another injury. You're trying to do everything you can to get... That must be so heartbreaking. You know, every time you're trying to get back from injury, you get another one, you get another one, get another one.
Yeah.
I just felt for him because when he came through, he was massively rated. Jose Mourinho wanted him. Fergie wanted him. All these clubs wanted him. Queuing up at Blackburn for him. United signed him. I was so excited when we signed him. He was a proper player.
Yeah, he was.
And then I think his best season for United in terms of number of games he played was in 2013-14. And he played like 30-odd games. Like he's never...
Yeah.
13, 14. He's done over a decade.
No, he's been at United, yeah.
You
And
know
you know
when
what's
Ashley
sad
Young
as well?
signed? He signed the same
You know what's
day as
sad as
Ashley
well?
Young.
He could have a testimonial, and he said, I wouldn't have one. He goes, only
one
my
would
mum
turn
would
up.
turn up. And that's
Yeah.
sad. That's sad, bro.
I think people would show up.
I
wouldn't
think that's... I'd turn up. I think
Yeah.
that's sad. Like, I just...
It might be sad.
someone
but
becomes
it's-
like, you know...
But what could
and
he-
I'm
yeah, I'm
someone
just
that's
interested
probably
in that-
kind of
yeah.
memed him and kind of had a laugh about him in the past. But it's still...
they?
I don't know.
It is
He's a
sad.
human being, in it, in there.
If you start,
He's had his dreams kind of
if you start
shattered.
employing that though, if you
Like
start
Goldberg.
employing he's a human being, and he therefore deserves our sympathy.
He still needs to leave Man United.
No, but if you start
that we should
employing
keep
that,
him.
that's if you start going down that road, then that's how you're going to feel about every footballer, and you're going to find it very difficult to sneer at anyone, or you're going to find
I
it
also
very
have an
difficult.
attachment. I also have an attachment to him, obviously.
Right. Okay. Maybe
Foden.
Phil,
Do you know what I mean?
Phil
It's
Jones.
like-
Maybe I don't know. There's some very
There's a
good
lot of players
footballers.
like that
There's some
just injury
very
after
good footballers
injury.
that played for Chelsea, like really good. That I don't. They leave me a bit cold now. It's not that I don't like them or anything. It's just.
I'm still trying to think.
I don't know. Nemanja Matic.
Can we talk
played
about
for
this
Chelsea.
moment quickly?
I don't really.
Do you mind
Harry
if
Kane.
I talk about this moment
Not a
very
legend
quickly,
of the
lads?
club.
Go
He's
on.
just a good player.
I want to talk about this moment just for very quickly, and we can go back to Phil Foden touches the ball down. He tries to lob Kepa. It's an unbelievable little moment there.
Got it.
If you're watching the game at home,
Foot wide.
unbelievable.
Foot wide.
It was reminiscent of Jesus Navas against Spurs against Lloris. Do you remember that early?
Foot wide.
No, don't be like that. I'm just trying to inform the audience who are here to watch City versus Chelsea. Our reaction to it is a beautiful little moment from Phil Foden, 5-time Premier League winner, lads.
Did the ball end up in the back of the net?
It was just a nice moment. It was a lovely moment, Adam, of football.
Only 1-0
splendor.
against this Chelsea team. Come on. We'll show you how to do it.
It'll probably finish 1-0 the way it's going. I think we'll just knock the ball around now.
I think everybody settles for that as well. Like if
Oh,
we lose
no
1-0 at
injury.
City, that's almost a victory.
Fafana again. Is that Fafana?
Yeah, it was,
Sorry,
yeah.
that's Thiago. Sorry.
If we lose 1-0 at City, that's a good result for us this season. That's one of our better results this season.
Yeah, Lampard's done well there.
Yeah. We'll be taking the piss out of you in the away end. Mugs, he only scored one.
I thought it was Fafana again, wasn't it?
No, it was
Maybe I'm-
Thiago. Thiago's number 5.
He'll
isn't he?
stay.
Apparently
he'll
he's
stay.
gonna stay.
Yeah,
Who?
Thiago Silva.
he's a proper player. I'm hearing these things about Brazil and all that. You don't want to be playing in Brazil, for God's sake. With all
But
due
mate, he's
respect.
30.
Why, man?
He'll be 30.
See, if you're at this
38.
level,
I'd love to play in Brazil
yeah,
rather
but, you,
than
yeah, but you're not at the level, are
at
you?
that age.
You're not.
He's achieved everything.
Yeah, but he's still at the level to play to keep.
The
problem-
crowd in
the
Brazil
problem
and
is,
stuff.
the problem is, though, Buvey,
Probably the money's
the,
up to
the
that.
club is
Yeah.
not at the level that he wants to play at.
Premier League football.
No,
Premier League.
Champions League football.
That Premier
He's
League
not-
wage.
I don't think
keeps
he's
you there.
his age. He can't demand Champions League football.
No, he
Can he?
can.
I don't know.
No, but I think the reason.
Justifiably, who signs him then?
No, I think
Italian boys.
he looks at it now and
Yeah.
goes, look, okay, if Chelsea were in the Champions League, the most prestigious competition in the world, a competition that he's desperate to play in and test himself against the very best. If Chelsea were in that, I think he goes, okay, right, we'll do another year in London, Bella. But because Chelsea aren't, I think Bella might be going.
But
you can play
You know
at
his
your-
wife,
Oh, she's very prominent on social media.
but you know her personally to call her Bella.
I know her name's Bella.
So you should. I think
No,
you
I was
should refer to her
impersonating him.
full name.
Oh, no, I was impersonating
Bella.
their
Is
conversation.
it Bella Silva? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So refer to. Don't call her Bella. You don't even know who the girl is.
Ciao, Bella.
No, but
How- but you
by
know,
that
don't
logic,
call her-
I shouldn't call her anything. I've never met her.
Yeah. Don't give nicknames
Why are we
to
talking- who-
people's
No,
it's not a
wives,
nickname, it's her-
okay?
it's her
No,
first
no,
name.
no.
Why are we talking about
Well-
Thiago Silva's wife?
Well,
Because
you
I was
brought her up
impersonating the
Bella.
conversation. I was impersonating
Bella?
the conversation. Bella would have
famous?
gone, yeah, she's very famous. She
Is
was
she?
like
What
singing
for?
Carefree and that on the internet.
Carefree.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah, she is. She sings the Thiago
Is she
Silva
proper
song.
Chelsea or?
Yeah, mate, she is. She is. Yeah.
I was rewatching
She sings
that.
the Thiago, she sings the thing. He comes from PSG to win the Champions League. Thiago.
Is that
She
on her
sings it.
Instagram right now?
Mate, I've seen her doing it a lot.
You got to follow his missus on Instagram.
No, because I don't do that with random wives and start calling them Bella and all that.
That's her name. It's not a random
I'm
name. I haven't
respectful
got a
to footballers'
nickname.
wives.
I haven't got a nickname for her. Her name is Bella.
Do you remember
That
football?
was a good show, wasn't it? Yeah. No, I remember the back end of it.
It was proper good. That
Who's the blonde one? She was on EastEnders. Max Brannan's wife
Tanya.
after that.
no,
Don't know what her.
Tanya was Max Branning's. You're on about the
No,
other.
no, Max had a
I know
second
what you're
wife.
on about. She run the
Full-
car lot
Yeah.
for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her name?
And
And she's got that meme of her
She-
looking out the window,
yeah. Screaming or something. What is
like
it?
gritting her teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her name?
That's because Max was cheating on her.
Bad Girls.
Max is a naughty guy. Okay, Max
Max
Brannan.
is a
If you're
bad
watching
girl.
at
Max
home,
Brennings.
I was in an episode of Bad Girls.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I love. That's where Shirley and all that started, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Heather.
Yeah, Heather was
Shirley and
yeah.
Heather are in Bad Girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
It was
what were you
really
doing
annoying.
so what's Bad Girls?
Because Bad Girls was a
women's
prison show about a women's prison. So how was Rory in there?
Because one of them had a son.
Okay.
One of them had a son. And
Who? Heather.
no, not
Wait, Heather Trott was in Bad Girl, like the character.
Shirley and Heather were in this.
actresses.
Yeah, the actresses.
Oh, whoa.
Sterling won't
Scream,
finish that. He won't finish that. I told you.
Saved by
That's
Ortega.
6 years of
Rude,
experience, mate.
That was rude.
That's 6 years of that.
That was really
Mate,
annoying.
I've seen it for 6 years.
Mate, he just looked at me when Sterling was running through. He just looked at me and went, "Yeah, finish it." That was ridiculous. Mate,
honestly,
do you know what?
on my life.
That little clip would actually be like...
That's Sterling.
Sterling.
Yeah, that's Sterling.
Sterling's one-on-one with the keeper. I'm going... Yeah, finish it.
How many years are we working together? 4 or 5 years? Honestly, every stream we would... Honestly, you ain't finishing that.
Yeah, finish
No, you
that.
ain't finishing that. No. You need one, he's a 1 in 4.
Yeah, finishing that.
You know, I would have finished that. But I'm not in that position because I'm not Sterling. But I finished out on my left foot, don't I?
Yeah. Although he had to be rapid to get there.
Heather Trott and Shirley from EastEnders.
Neither of those were my
Bad
mother.
Girls.
Ugly, Heather and Minty. Remember that? Skepta bar. Sorry.
Right, I don't know the bar. I thought were they together in EastEnders?
Heather and Minty.
Were they together?
Yeah.
No. Minty wasn't getting with Heather. No.
Yeah,
He was a
yeah,
guy.
he was.
He wasn't getting with Heather.
Minty,
you know
was
what?
laying
No.
the pipe.
I can't remember who he was
Don't
talking
say-
about.
Why put that in my mind? Why put that in my mind?
Because you want to see it.
I'm trying to watch City win the Premier League
You want
title.
to see it. Imagine what it smells like.
Do you know what made me laugh? Do you know what made me
Say that.
laugh so much, right? Do you know what made me laugh so much? I can't remember who he was talking about. I follow expressions on Twitter.
Did you see his
And I
coffee?
can't remember who he was talking to, but he's having an argument with somebody on the internet. It might have been a joke. And he said to the geezer, I don't know what you're talking to me. You look like Minty off his...
Did you see his thing with the coffin the other day with KG?
No.
I thought that was quite good.
What did he do?
They were like, they brought a coffin in and then they put like an Arsenal shirt in it and all that kind of stuff. And thinking, remember that geezer was wearing a T-shirt with the Premier League table on?
No.
That's a howl of that, isn't it?
Pathetic, isn't it?
At the start of Christmas.
What, he had a T-shirt with the Premier League, with them top
Someone
of the
off
league?
Arsenal Fan TV, I think.
It was the bold one, wasn't it? The bold old guy.
Robbie.
Lee?
No, it was a different bold one now. There's a different bold. Short bold. Lee's tall bold.
Yeah, the thing is, if you say the bald one off AFTV, you've got to be really
He's
specific.
got 12. isn't it?
Yeah, they're all bold.
Because
Bold angry men.
I can think of...
The bold angry one. Which one?
That's hilarious.
That's what Arsenal does to you.
Who does Phil Mitchell support? The actor.
Phil Mitchell therefore supports West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah! Oh!
Oh, Rico Lewis with the air kick in the box.
Lewis Hall. Oh.
Conor Gallagher in the post.
Oh, he got the ball.
He did get a ball.
You look better in the last few
Was that
minutes.
Calvin Phillips that got the ball?
Not sure. Poor from Sterling, innit? You got no left foot.
It's a shame. That would have been lovely to
We've
come.
rinsed you 50 mil for that. Unbelievable. You've been scammed.
You don't see him like that bad, do you? Do you really?
He's off. To get break even on him and get 5, 6 great years of service out of him, and then to get 50 mil back, I think you could do 35 at a time, 40 mil, but 50 mil politically, that's so good on it. You break even on Sterling. You get his prime out of
You've
it.
had 6 years good
And
service.
give him
as
to
well.
Chelsea, and you get to see the real deal.
30 goals a season.
You get the real deal with Sterling now.
So unlucky here, Gallagher. Look, Hall to Gallagher.
Hall's a good player. I like him.
That's a new dawn. Good save, bloody hell. I thought it hit the post. I thought it hit the post. Oh, it did hit the post. Oh, and then hit the keeper though.
Good save, Ortega.
Ariel Ortega.
Good keeper.
Ortega.
Yeah, he'll be a top keeper.
Ariel Ortega. It's
He
wicked.
played for
Argentina. And Palmer.
Beckham
maybe.
scored the penalty past him.
Yeah.
innit?
No, he wasn't a keeper. Ariel Ortega.
Really?
No, he's an attacking midfielder.
Oh, yeah. What was the
Look at
keeper?
Carl Walker's pace, man.
Can't remember. But no, Ariel Ortega was wicked.
It wasn't
Like,
Sebastian
it was-
Fry, was it?
No, he was Swiss. Can't remember.
Have we got any
But
super chats?
Ariel Ortega was definitely an attacking midfielder.
Any
Brilliant player.
interesting
He was a
chat
bit
in
like
the,
Pablo
comments?
Aymar.
Yeah.
He was an underrated player.
Rui Costa was a
Yeah,
player.
you've got a few super chats, boys. Someone said, does Rory realise that he looks at Lampard the same way that Adam looks at Phil Jones?
Come on.
What way is that?
It's terrible.
With nothing but love in his eyes.
With nothing but love.
Love you,
We've
Phil.
also got someone saying, fellas, let's not forget Agent Jorginho was sent to Arsenal from Chelsea and has done jack all, although he did score that last minute winner.
No.
He didn't. It was an own goal. Can we stop
That's
giving
true.
that goal
That's
to Jorginho? It was a cushioned
you
header
claim
into
that.
the back of the net by Emi Martinez.
claim that.
No, he hit it wide.
No,
He hit it wide.
No.
It was going the other way. It was travelling away from the goal, and Emi Martinez cushioned header it in.
That's true. He was good against Newcastle.
I don't think it's been too bad.
No, it's not been a
It's true.
bad
Well,
Well, he arrived
How
and they
much
were
did they
five.
pay
He
for him?
arrived and they were 5
12.
points clear. They've now
12
lost the league.
million.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, football clubs lose that.
All I'm
It's
saying,
nothing.
all
It's
I'm
nothing.
saying
It's
is,
a good deal. It's
all
a
I'm
good
saying
deal.
is, he arrived and they were top of the league, and now what?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
2 and 2 makes a Christmas cake, my friend.
There's not many midfielders you can buy of his class for 12 mil.
His class.
Is there an argument that you go 90 mil for Caicedo then?
Yeah, that's what they should.
Is that the argument then?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it is.
That is what you do.
Yeah.
Because also, Caicedo put something out on social media, basically saying he'd left. Do you remember?
So they were interested.
Yeah,
They bid 75 anyway. So if you've already bid 75, you're pot committed.
Didn't he say something like, "Oh, I've loved it at Brighton"? But I
Yeah,
really
thanks
need
for
to-"
the memories. It's been really good.
And he tried to do that.
They put him on leave for 2 weeks, didn't they?
Yeah.
To cool off. Like.
That's like Ruben Neves. Every season he says goodbye to Wolves.
Done it
and
again.
He
Done it
rocked back up
yesterday,
in
didn't he?
August.
Did he?
Yeah, he done it
Hello,
again.
me
I
again.
just why didn't no one
Just says he
sign
wants
him?
to play
That's,
the Champions
that's a
League.
red
He's a good
flag.
player,
It's a
man.
I
red
think
flag.
for 2 years he's been messed about by Barcelona. Going, we want to sign you.
Really?
We want to sign you. We want to sign
I've never heard.
Do you know what I think it is?
Barcelona-
I think it's
Oh,
because
is
he
that
looks
true?
old. In my head, he's really old, but he's not. He's like perfect. He's young.
Yeah.
But it's because of the beard.
No,
He looks old.
There's a red flag for me there somewhere. If no one's signed him already,
He's a brilliant player.
no, there's a red flag.
No,
I don't know
but-
what. I don't know what.
No, but sometimes
No,
players.
It's a red flag, mate. Trust me.
But is that not? Could you not go Kane's a red flag?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a serial loser. That's a big
But
red
that's
flag for
because
me.
he's at Tottenham.
He's also a serial loser for
The
England.
goal he scored yesterday.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
he's hit it really hard.
Mate, are you about to not give credit to that goal?
It was a
that
good goal.
Kane
It was a good
scored
goal.
yesterday?
It was a good goal.
Who
It
scored
was
a
a
free kick like
consolation
that the other
goal.
week? Pushed it back and sank.
It was just a fantastic. It wasn't a consolation goal. It was the opener scoring.
Yeah, but at the end of it, it didn't mean
Yeah,
anything.
but that's not what a consolation goal is.
In the overall scoreline, it was a consolation.
I don't think you know what a consolation goal is.
He scores goals that don't matter. He loves scoring world class goals against lower level opposition, and it never matters. That's a big red flag for me.
Didn't he score against you? 2, in fact.
Yeah, again, it didn't matter because we
Lower
went on
le-
after
lower
that to
level.
win the Premier League. I'm not wrong about that, am I?
Yeah.
I can't think of a big goal he scored, like a big goal.
Scored 2 against you.
No, big goal to do something for Spurs or England. He bottled it in the World
Okay,
Cup.
so I say 2
I've never
against you.
forgiven.
You say no. He won the game. He won the game against City.
Yeah, they're okay.
Scored in the last minute against you.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, he did, yeah, yeah, he did, yeah. He's had a fantastic season, but I think there's a red flag there somewhere. There's a big red flag for me.
Where?
England bottled it for England as well. There's 2 things. He bottled it for Spurs. and
Everyone ever has bottled it for England.
England. Not Jeff Hurst.
Everyone's bottled it for England.
No, not everyone. Not Bobby Charlton.
In our lifetime, everyone's bottled
In
it
our
for
lifetime, yeah. Yeah, in our lifetime.
Better players than Kane have bottled it for England.
No, look, of course he's been fantastic. Of course. It's going to be a hard one for him this summer. He was clapping all the Spurs fans.
Do you think he's there next season?
I don't know.
No, absolutely not. Where it's going to be very difficult for him is if Manchester United, and I think they'll be all right now, but if Manchester United don't make top 4, I couldn't really work out where he'd go. Because if Manchester United are in top 4, I just think he goes to United. It's so obvious that Manchester United need him, and it's like the match made in heaven. If Man United weren't in the top 4, it would have been a real problem because he can't leave Tottenham for a club in the Europa League. But it's gonna work out.
I think there's an equal chance he leaves and goes to a club at United. Or I keep saying Chelsea, although you don't.
No, it's impossible.
You don't believe that?
No, it's impossible. It's impossible.
But I think there's as much possibility he leaves and joins United or Chelsea as he stays.
I think Chelsea's the one. If Poch
I think
goes,
he's
he'll be
fine.
pushing to get Kane in. I know it might not happen.
Also, imagine
I
how
get the
much
rivalry.
money he could make if he waits a year and goes on a free.
Chelsea aren't in the Champions League, lads.
Jesus.
Chelsea
Bro,
will not be in the
He
Champions
could get
League.
a
No.
transfer fee. Do you know that?
Yeah, he couldn't get
Yeah.
that, but he could
That's
make
how-
25
that's how
million
these
quid. Yeah.
footballers
No, he
think.
could make 25 million quid.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. He could make 25 million quid and then 500 grand a week.
Like if Man United are going now, we have to give you 100 mil.
Mm.
Or you know what, we'll just give you Harry Kane 25
Do you
mil.
know who did that? Ross Barkley did it. When Chelsea wanted to sign Ross Barkley, we were about to sign him. And all of a sudden, the deal just didn't happen. And they just waited. He sat on Everton's bench for like 6 months. We signed him for free and gave him a massive deal. But it's really snide on the club.
Yeah.
You've stolen the money
I
from the
rate it
club,
though.
haven't you? I don't rate it with
I
Barkley
think
because he's
players
meant
do
to
it a
be.
lot.
No, but I kind of see there's certain situations. I know what you mean. Look after yourself and your family. But in other situations, Ross Barkley owes Everton a lot,
I think that becomes more of a thing.
and he's meant to be an Everton fan. We
Becomes a lot
got
more
a
of a thing.
diamond called Ross Barkley.
What a player he was.
The Scouser who comes
What a
from
player he was
Coventry.
supposed
Where is he? He's in Nice.
What a player he was.
He's
supposed-
on loan at Nice, isn't he? From Chelsea.
He come through like a young Wayne Rooney, and then it just never happened
Never
for a minute.
happened. Never happened.
Him and Schmeichel at Nice.
But do you know what? We're all terrible for that. You know when we go came through like we're talking about Ross Barkley after one season, like Wayne Rooney. I remember people were talking about Dele Alli, like Frank Lampard. Like
Yeah.
from now on, any good young product, I'm not saying a word for 3 years.
Yeah. Michael Johnson at City.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a player.
I
he
was Trent's free kick. That was similar to Kane's, wasn't it?
Beautiful free kick that.
Yeah.
Trent
That was
against Leicester.
that was a proper free kick.
So Kane's wasn't that good, but Trent's was a proper free.
No, they're both technically incredible free kicks.
I just think Kane's absolutely amazing.
28 goals.
In this season at Tottenham, when Richarlison and all that lot can't score a goal
Amazing.
between them. Do you know
fair,
what I mean?
Richarlison hardly gets a start.
Okay, Son then, 6 goals or something.
Son's
You're like,
Draw it out.
like that Kulusevski, everybody was telling me how good he was.
Yeah,
When did he last have a good
I think if he stayed
I-
fit though for the whole season,
but
and
I never
Bentancur,
believed
I think Conte's still there.
no, I don't
If
think so.
Bentancur and Kulusevski didn't,
Overrated. Bentancur's
injured.
overrated.
Did you
Conte's
see?
still there.
Did you see that third goal that Brentford scored? Have you seen it?
yeah,
Mate,
Yeah.
like, you know, if you're Harry Kane,
Defence is all
you've
over
just
the
got to go like that. You just got to go. I
Oh,
can't.
the space, you mean? Yeah.
No, the skip one. You can't just say I haven't seen it.
No, I can't think off the top of my
No,
head.
basically,
Here's a good
Tottenham are in
question.
possession.
Yeah.
Tottenham are in possession. Oliver Skip's asked for the ball.
Yeah.
Ball's thrown to him.
Right.
They're in possession.
Yeah.
Skip has just made.
Just turned
He
into
just
trouble.
hasn't done anything. Just turned into trouble. Tried to beat a man. Couldn't beat the man. Tried to foul the man. Couldn't even do that. Brentford just took it and scored. She's like, what are you doing? How has it gone from your throw-in to going 3-1 down at home?
Must be
And Harry
Ricky Zara.
Kane is just like that.
Yeah.
Like, looking at Skip. Can you imagine? He's just looking at him like I'm either going to have to like do nothing or beat you up because I can't be on a pitch with you anymore.
Is he? Is it a silly thing for me to say? Is he? Is he? Really?
Is Harry
Is he
Kane
giving,
saying,
is
is
he
he
giving a
what? Is he-
bollocking
Yes.
in the changing room?
Yeah. Kane was honestly just,
Kane ain't that guy.
He ain't that guy.
no, I think he is.
Kane ain't that guy. I've
think-
seen in all
What,
or
he's
nothing.
going up to Ollie Skips
All
and,
or
"What are you
nothing. Put
fucking
the
doing?
best
Spurs
bits
are
of his
better."
team
No,
talk
maybe not
into
that.
into the documentary, and it was a shambles.
No, maybe not that. I don't think he's a Roy Keane, John Terry, get you around the throat. But I think he's a captain by example.
Okay, someone
Yeah,
like
but
a De
that's not in
Bruyne
the
maybe.
dressing room then.
No, it is. I think you can be a captain by example in terms of the
I
way that you
reckon he
conduct
mopes
yourself.
about being disappointed for himself.
No, I think he would have a quiet word.
You know, like, did you
No
watch
way.
the All or Nothing in Spurs?
No, of course I haven't. Sit through that
Okay.
crap.
So there's one bit where they show a team talk with Kane, and look, people will go, "Oh, it's just one bit," but if there was a better bit of him delivering a team talk, they would have used it.
They've used his
They've used
A
the
take.
best
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
And it's like, "All right, lads,
Yeah.
let's go do him. Come on, hey!" It's like, bro,
He
what the
ain't
fuck's
that guy.
It's
He
like
ain't that guy.
he doesn't see. He seems like a guy that just go there and, like you say, lead by example on the pitch and his performances and stuff. But
Yeah.
in the dressing room, I can't see him.
I think
Bollocking
it
him.
matters at big moments. You want the best player at the club, and you can't always have it because maybe Harry Kane's an introverted person. Not everyone can be a Roy Keane type player. But I think someone like Haaland, bullying people, being aggressive, shouting, messing around a little bit, I think it leads you on a little. It leads the whole squad on. If Harry Kane still had a fantastic season, 28 goals this season, but if someone like Skip's making that mistake, is he really demanding standards out of other players? Is he that kind of person? I don't know if he is.
I think certain players.
Where are Spurs without him, though, bro?
Well, they're where Chelsea are. Certain
Maybe
players.
lower.
They're below.
Certain players, though, they can be captain material in a different way. I think
of
that
course,
we in this country, we seem to always value the Roy Keanes, the Paul Ince, the John Terry, but like N'Golo Kante, that's what we should call it. N'Golo Kante, for example, is a captain. He's not but he is a
Stu
captain.
makes a
He's
good
a captain by example.
Stu makes a good point. He says professionalism is not the same as leadership. So what
but-
we may be going
But
giving him
you're
credit
right.
for being
I think we
professional.
build up.
That's not
All
the
I'm
same
trying to
as
say is
leader.
you're bang on, and he might be a Kante type person,
A
Harry
Kante
Kane.
type
But we build
captain.
him up to be this massive figure. You know, he's got his posters everywhere. This kind of actually, he's just a technically very gifted striker, and Spurs might need more leaders around him to actually
I
get
don't
this
think he
side going.
does have that
Is he that guy?
thing around him. I don't know. Maybe
But there is an
because I'm
aura.
older now.
He does have an aura. Harry Kane.
Do you know what I'm trying to compare?
When you're
it to?
playing against them,
you know, like
you're
when
worried about
Shearer
him,
was
aren't you?
England's
of
number
course.
one man, or Owen.
Yeah, but I think
They
when
felt like there was a lot more around them.
they were playing for better teams, though. There was more around them.
Newcastle weren't a bet. Wow.
They
Liverpool.
needed
You could
one
argue
league.
there were
Liverpool's
points in
the
time
team.
where Newcastle were a Champions League team,
Mm.
and so were Spurs.
And
Spurs
Michael
got to
Owen's
the
Liverpool.
final.
Liverpool
But
with
when you look
Buvey.
at this Tottenham team, when you look at who Tottenham are at the moment, do you think there's anything in the question? You know, when you compare how the Haaland season and Kane's season, do you think there's anything in it to almost admire Kane's season more because he's done it with like basically no support as a one-man team, rather than doing it with Mahrez, Grealish,
course.
Foden? Do you see logic in that?
definitely, mate.
Oh, I do as well. I thought you were going to go the other way. That's
No,
interesting, but
The thing that frustrates me, he's a world class striker. He's one of the best we've ever seen in this country. It's as simple as that. The thing that frustrates me is maybe we've built him up in the wrong way and the image is wrong, and that's our fault as media or whatever, or as fans. But there are moments where he's just bottled it. He has bottled it for
I
England
think he
multiple
bottled
times.
leaving Spurs. That's the biggest thing he's ever bottled.
He
What was
needs
it?
world-class players
Leaving
around him.
Spurs.
Yeah.
He should have left
I
a
agree.
long time
I
ago.
agree. That's the one. You know, when you say he's bottled things with England and that, I think there's always an explanation. And maybe I'm generous to Kane, but I think there's always Southgate as an explanation, and then there's always Tottenham as an explanation. And I believe that the power of Southgate and the power of Tottenham does give a lot of insight into why it went wrong. But I think Adam's point is bang on. Where he bottled it, and where a player who genuinely wants to be the best, strives for the best, and is the best, one way or another, by hook or by crook, they get out of that contract.
It's tough.
They never signed that contract to begin with, actually. They never employ their brother and whatever.
Harry Kane's had 3 or 4 Aguero-level moments in terms of, Aguero hits it true near post against Paddy Kenny QPR. That's one moment for Aguero. That's one, yeah?
Just the mere mention of Paddy Kenny made me giggle.
Yeah, but Harry Kane's had a penalty against France where all he has to do is he has to score. There's a moment in League Cup finals he didn't show up. Of course, for England, all he has to do is square it, make the right decision. He's had 3 or 4 moments.
But mate, we've seen Sterling. Maybe he did make the right decision.
Yeah. He probably might have scooped over the
The
bar.
thing is,
But I'm trying to say that he's had 3 moments.
Look at some of the greatest strikers that have maybe played for teams that aren't the teams that are winning everything. Like Totti at Roma, he won something. You know what I mean? Zlatan, when he came through, he left and he moved on and he went around and he made sure he won stuff. Like those are just 2 examples, but those are 2 of the things.
I think
that
he needs to leave and win something. Otherwise, it will be a very uninspiring end to what should have been a more brilliant career. It's still a brilliant career. I think he will get the Premier League all-time record as well.
I was shocked by Shearer yesterday. I found it funny actually when he said, "I think Newcastle should buy him and put him on the bench so he don't break my record." I found that funny.
That's just a joke, though.
Yeah, I found that funny. But the bit which I found confusing was he got asked, should he leave Spurs? And this is a man that stayed at Newcastle through thick and thin, and he went, yeah.
No, but he had his title.
Yeah, but
that's true.
he could
No, he had his title.
Maybe that one title makes a complete difference.
No,
but I just think
it does. We don't talk about Alan Shearer in the way that we're talking about Kane, do we? Because Alan Shearer, not only has he got the record, he's got the title, and also it was a very impressive title. Like I suppose that some would argue and sneer here and say that they bought it, which obviously Jack Walker did. But let's remember, Blackburn Rovers were basically the only team to interrupt that Fergie bit. You know, the Cantona Fergie, the Paul Ince Fergie. That only really got interrupted by Blackburn.
What was it 2 before Blackburn, 3 after that, wasn't it?
It's Blackburn. It's Shearer. So it's a very impressive title.
No. 2 after Blackburn, then Arsenal in 98.
So no, it's 2,
96,
2,
97,
2 Blackburn 2. 2 Blackburn 2.
And then we did the 3-peat after.
Yeah, then a 3.
99, no, is not all
But
1.
Crazy, yeah.
2 Blackburn 2 would have been 5, obviously.
Yeah.
Which shows you the dominance of that Manchester United team and Blackburn Rovers with Jack Walker, Stuart Ripley.
Obviously, I barely remember it, if at all. But
No.
I feel like their squad wasn't even that great. The bench, the starting 11, some fantastic players, Graham Lasso and Sherwood and all that as well, around Shearer and Sutton. But I feel like the bench wasn't as
It wasn't
amazing.
You know when you do the best ever Premier League teams?
Yeah.
Blackburn Rovers don't get mentioned.
No.
They don't get mentioned. No, it's Tim Sherwood and David Batty and Stuart Ripley and Mike Newell and Colin Hendry and Tim Sherwood. Tim Flowers. But it was a good team, but they did really well to interrupt Manchester United's dominance.
What do you like when you compare Kane and Bale, for example, as well? I suppose we can make that comparison.
Yeah.
Like Bale was a man that left Spurs and achieved, like he'll go down. Like he'll be long remembered.
He's Britain's best export.
Yeah.
He's Britain's best
and
export.
one of Britain's greatest footballers ever.
Yeah, he's the best export that Britain has ever put into the world of
But
football.
it's just another example of another man that went, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and win trophies.
Kane, but this is
Amazing.
something else that feels a bit off to me. Well, it may not feel off to me, but I feel like we should discuss whether it's off. Effectively, what we're doing here is we're penalising and being quite hostile to Harry Kane for demonstrating a quality that matters.
that
Loyalty.
we all want in our players.
Sorry?
That we all want in our players.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And in our own lives. Like we're saying Harry Kane's an idiot because he's so loyal. Doesn't really add up, does it?
I love the loyalty for, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd love it.
But
I question that world-class element to his ability
also
to win a
look at the point
trophy.
And again, I get what you're saying. If United hadn't won trophies down them years, I would have wanted Giggs to do the same thing and stay. But possibility is maybe he leaves and goes and does something elsewhere.
Yeah.
But Harry Kane like at Spurs, he's kind of achieved all that he can. There's nothing else left for you to achieve there. Like you've done the loyalty thing.
No, but when he stayed, when he was loyal, when he signed the 7-year deal, I think he would have believed at the time that success was just around the corner for Tottenham.
Mm.
You know, when he signed the
And
7
also,
years.
Footballers and loyalty to clubs, if they get injured or they don't play well anymore or whatever, them clubs ain't being loyal to you.
but you
know what I mean?
Too rational a point, I'm afraid, for this kind of conversation.
Also,
You're correct.
Arsenal fan.
You're correct.
I'll bring it back down.
No, you're correct, but you're being too rational because what we want from footballers and what we expect from footballers, it's all very much, it's all completely irrational. We go, we want you to stay forever, and as soon as they stop scoring, we're like, get out of the team. Like that's the ridiculous
That
nature.
contract was just so early in it. I mean, you get that when you're 28 and you get a contract like that. I get it, but it felt so early. So
you know what- do you know what he
I
must-
thought Poch leaving would have been the point for him.
Do you know what he
You know
must
where
have
he
done,
goes,
though?
he's gone. I'm gonna go now.
Do you not think there was a moment where Kane would have looked at that contract and, like, being a normal bloke from Chingford, he would have gone to his missus, we're set for life.
Yeah.
We are set for life. And his missus would have probably gone, you got to sign it. They've offered you what? We're going to earn how much? Of course, sign it. But he would have also believed that Tottenham, I think as a lot of people did.
Yeah,
I was always quite cynical about Tottenham because I've been brought up that way. But I think a lot of people thought that Tottenham by now, if I'd said to you in 2014, within the next 10 years, will Tottenham have won a trophy? In fact, I think I would have even said yes.
Yeah. Even a League Cup. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, will Tottenham have won a trophy in the next 10 years?
100%.
In fact, if you take it back to 2008,
They were
Harry Kane isn't a player that should be
football
just
side.
winning.
They were a proper team.
I think the
under
point is
Poch.
that Harry Kane isn't a player that should just be winning a League Cup.
no,
Is he?
but
He's a
silverware.
player that has been
No, you're right. Yeah.
the best at various points in his career, striker in the world.
Mm.
And he's always been one of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah. No,
But
if you want
he's
to
a
argue about Benzema or Kane,
Like, you
fine,
should be
whatever,
winning
but-
Champions Leagues and he should be winning Premier Leagues. He shouldn't
Look at Lewandowski.
he shouldn't be
his record.
failing to win League Cup.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think he goes now, though? Has to. He just
Do
has
you know what? I don't
I'm
think
still
he does.
split, you know. I'm
I
still
don't think
like
he.
Well, you think he stays at Tottenham again?
You know. Look, we're all football fans. We've all seen transfers happen. You see the buzz around big names leaving. There's a buzz. You can feel it. Haaland last season, it felt like it was going to happen. Bellingham this summer, it's happening this summer, lads. Bellingham's happening. I can say.
No,
it
but
to
Harry
you.
Kane won't want to leave
Kane
with
don't feel. There's no. Where's
Harry
the
Kane
buzz?
won't want to leave with a media circus.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He'll
won't
want
be
to
able
leave
control that,
respectfully.
but he won't be able to control it.
No, but
though.
that's might be a way of him controlling it. Is
I think it's
the
not
wheels
right
are
time
already
for
in
United as
motion
well.
and we
The
don't know.
trouble
I
is, there's a real finite amount of clubs that he can go
It's
to.
United, and I don't know enough about the finances. If there's a
Yeah,
mid
like
takeover,
Any
you ain't
world,
gonna
is
sign.
there any world where he could still go to City?
No, no.
No,
way.
not City. Unless Haaland leaves, like wins the treble and then goes.
If he leaves and he has to leave, it's Chelsea.
No, Booth.
I know it's ridiculous. I know,
Chelsea
I know.
doesn't happen.
I know.
Does there come a point
There's
in
so
time
many
where
reasons
Daniel
why
Levy
Chelsea
goes,
doesn't happen.
"You're not signing a contract, therefore I want to sell you."
No, because I think Daniel Levy would.
Rather keep him and let him go free. That doesn't sound
Looks politically
right.
better, doesn't it? That he's chosen to leave. We offered him a contract.
But no,
He
but
chose-
you're selling. You're letting an asset go. That
I
could be
don't-
worth. And this is how these people, you know, Spurs' board of directors
Yeah.
will look at it. You're letting an 80, 100 million pound, 120 million pound asset go for free.
No. They can't let because there's another thing to factor in here. It's not only what Kane brings to Tottenham on the pitch, right? Harry Kane is Tottenham.
Yeah,
If you think I think anywhere apart from South Korea, the definition of Tottenham is Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Like any poster, any
Yeah.
like if you want to talk about Tottenham, if you said to three geezers talk about Tottenham, they go right. What do you think about Kane?
Yeah.
If you take Kane out of that team, anywhere else in the world apart from South Korea, they're in a team. They're in a conversation.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who Oliver Skip is. I swear Oliver Skip could have been sitting opposite me on a tube. I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know what he looked like. I watched him play football yesterday. I watched him give a ball away. Don't know what the geezer looks like. Like realistically, would you recognise Ben Tancur if he's got like who is the team? Who is the personality of the team? Like it's not Clement Longuet.
It's Lloris. I know he's not playing much. He's terrible,
Lloris.
but
It's not Longley, is it? Like, who is the team? It's like you'd only know it was Eric
must have
Simon.
got
Because
him
he
looking
would
at
have his
Haaland,
loaf
didn't
of bread stuck in a tube door. Like, there's no team without Kane.
and just
I
behind that
think-
is Son, and that's it.
And I
yeah.
think Levy would look at it like that as well. Levy would go, hang on a minute. Not only are we letting our, the best player that's played for the club for 30 years, not only are we letting that player go, we haven't had anything like this since.
I
Ken
think we
Hoddle.
overestimate how people like Daniel Levy will think and stuff. There might have a bit of them that goes, He came through our academy. We've made him. We can do it again.
No, but they haven't. They've had. He's been out
No,
of the
but-
academy for what?
No,
15
but me
years?
and you are speaking rationally. I think people
Nah.
we gave you this opportunity.
No, but I think they know about. I think they know. Like I remember maybe 10 years ago, there was a kid called Dean Parrott, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who was like Tottenham's new.
Troy Parrott.
Yeah.
No, Dean Parrott.
I
No,
thought it was Troy Parrott.
no, Dean Parrott. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Dean.
Troy Parrott.
Look him up. I know.
What was
it's
his
Dean
name?
Parrott. Dean Parrott, and I know it was right. He
knows
was
it was.
he was coming through at Tottenham. He was coming through at Tottenham, and he was like the new boy, the new kid, like the main man. And I don't even know where he plays now. He'd be playing for, I don't know.
He's in League Two.
Russian and
I predict
Diamonds.
he's in League Two.
He's playing for Biggleswade Town. You mean Parrott? It sounded like you were on about Troy Parrott, but it's Parrott with E-T-T, not Parrot.
Don't try and make this my
So
problem.
what was
there's
Rory
two
talking about
Parrott.
then? What
There's
was
two Parrots.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
I'm talking about Dean Parrott.
Where's
and-
Dean Parrott now then?
Biggleswade Town.
Biggleswade.
So where's Troy Parrott?
Troy
It's at
Parrott was a
Millwall, isn't he?
striker.
Yeah.
Millwall.
Dean Parrott. Hang
What
on.
about John Parrott?
Why are you all jumping on my
Big
story?
snooker player.
I'm literally telling you a story
Did he
that
win
I
a
know.
world?
Troy Parrott's at Preston.
Okay, anyway.
Wasn't Millwall.
And John Parrott won a world championship in 1987.
88.
yeah.
The point that I was
Love big break.
the point I was making was Daniel Levy would have overseen the conveyor belt of many footballers that haven't made it.
Yeah.
Like and the reason I use Dean Parrott is because I remember this kid. I remember hearing all about this kid. Dean Parrott scoring goals. Dean Parrott's the new man, the main man at Tottenham. He's gonna play for England. Geezer plays for a place I've never even heard of.
You've heard of Biggleswade. They got
That's
a
the
big,
third
they got
time
a
I've
big
heard of it in my
gala
life.
bingo hall.
You're joking, aren't you?
They got a mega bingo hall in Biggleswade.
I've never heard of it. Where is it?
They do.
Where is it?
In
Biggleswade.
south
You heard of
of England.
I think I've
South of
It's
England.
near
where?
Essex. It's near Essex.
Essex.
Yeah, it's near-
Essex
it's Essex.
Biggleswade. Absolutely not.
Biggleswade.
There's no place in Essex.
near
called
Essex, isn't it?
Biggleswade.
I think there
Someone
were two
Google that,
players
for God's
called
sake.
Parrott that they touted as Harry Kane.
Yeah, I think we're both thinking about the.
because Troy Parrott definitely got.
But he's playing
I
at
remember
Millwall now.
Jose Mourinho had him in training.
Preston.
Is he Preston? Someone just said Millwall.
You've got a memory.
They
of
got-
a
they
He
got
was
Goo-
at Millwall, then he was at Preston.
Yeah,
He's
they got
he's
Google
still
and
a
they still get it
Spurs
wrong.
player.
It's
He's on
embarrassing.
loan.
They got Google and they get it wrong.
What are you using?
By the way,
Ask Jeeves.
Biggleswade's near Cambridge.
Yeah, South of England.
Never heard of it. That's
No,
not
that's
south.
Jeeves.
That's not right. I need a
Bing. Ask Bing. Anyway, lads, it's
What's
been a
going on?
pleasure.
Has the game
this
restarted
season.
yet? What are we doing here? It feels like we've been going on too long.
We're doing Super Six. Shout out to Super Six for backing the club this season. Let's talk about our points so far. Has anything changed for you, Adam? Of course, I'm going for a City win, so I will be getting a few more points on the board. It's absolutely beautiful. If you're new and you haven't already, download the Super Six app and join our mini league, Club S6, to join, and you can play against Adam, Rory, and myself.
How many points
of
you got
course.
at the moment?
I'm on 9.
Oh, same here. I'm on 9 as well.
I'd love double figures.
What have you
points.
predicted for this? 4-0.
I've predicted, as long as it stays like this, and we
I
get
predicted
3 more
3-0
goals.
for this.
3-0. You're a lot closer than I am.
So
of course.
if I get 3-0, I've beat you. If you
Yep.
get 4-0, you've won. And if it's anything else,
It's
we've drawn.
We've drawn. Yeah.
That's how this week's
I've not
gonna be.
beaten you for a
And
while.
if you think you can beat myself and Buvey, then join our league. Club S6 is the code. Download the app. Join our league. It's free to play. It's free to enter. It's a free shot at £250,000. I think we've got it's the last few of the season now coming up as well. So there's going to be another big one next weekend, and you guys could win £250,000. And if you fail to win £250,000 by getting 6 correct scores, then you can try and beat myself, Rory, and Buvey in our league, Club S6. And the winner of that league every round gets a £100 classic football shirts voucher.
I'm loving life. I'm absolutely loving life. I cannot wait till next season as well. I'm going to start afresh and actually do the scores properly. I did a Bournemouth 1-0 against you lot this weekend. You know, that was just to wind you up a little bit.
Don't wind me up by failing to get correct scores.
Yeah, maybe. If they'd beaten you, it would have been great. That's the point. So, yeah, make sure you join our mini league, Club S6. We're over 6,000 of you so far. Thank you so much. We're trying to beat Pitchside. I beg you, join the club, Club S6 in-app. Thank you
Has
very much.
anyone seen Tom Garrett since Theo snapped him?
He's making TikToks, and every TikTok he talks about is on.
Oh,
So he's like, I'm
they're
predicting
pathetic, aren't
this
they?
round's match, you know, the Premier League fixtures this weekend. Oh, by the way, I got a broken arm. You know, by the way, I've had my TikTok deleted.
Why?
I got banned off TikTok. I don't know.
What?
It's
Fully
deleted,
banned?
bro. It's deleted.
Fully banned.
I'm off.
Because you had the best TikTok account out of all of us.
Well,
you were flying.
Well, best because of best chat. Yeah, best chat. Yeah, but
Because you're the only one that uploaded. But,
but
what happened?
mate,
What did
gone.
you do?
It's gone, lads. I
What
don't
did you
know. Mate, TikTok just...
You must know. What was the reason?
Tom Garrett, obviously big on TikTok, really good on TikTok. He's had like 3 or 4 accounts. Like TikTok can just delete your account randomly because it's an algorithm that decides if you're violating community guidelines. It's really weird.
So it's not your actions
really
that
weird.
decide whether
So
you violated community guidelines.
You melt.
What guideline
TikTok.
did you
Get me
violate?
back on, lads, please.
What did you violate?
I don't know. I think the big one, I did a kit review for the new Man United kit, and I was like rating it and stuff. It's like a bit of a joke. And maybe because it's a copyrighted image, it's like an unreleased pic of the new Man United kit.
That can't be it.
That's not copyright.
That can't be it.
I don't use any copyrighted footage of football games or anything. I know certain influencers that we work with, QPR fans in particular, that have had copyright strikes in particular, but I never did any of that, so I don't get it.
What, City now, don't he?
Well, apparently he's been to more City games than I have in the last few months, so it's embarrassing. But nonetheless, TikTok, if you're watching this, please, I want the account back, lads, all right?
He called you all melts and
You are melts. Come on, man. I've been creating videos on there for years.
At TikTok on Twitter and say give Buvey his account.
Save my account. It's over.
By the way, boys, got a super chat that I wanted to read out. Actually, might want to save it for. I think Rory would appreciate this more. But having a Corona in an Irish pub down in Little Italy, looking over the Dutch tulips of Dow's Lake in sunny Ottawa, Canada, listening to this brilliant British show presented by Adam Buvey and Rory. What a time to be alive!
Oh, thank you very much, mate. I'm just trying to gauge where that is. So Ottawa, Canada.
Yeah,
beautiful part of the world that is. It's amazing. Have you been there, Adam?
I've not been Canada before. No, I do want to go. I've got some family out there as well. Somehow.
In Canada, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never been out there.
Well, think of one big football tournament that is being played in Canada.
Is there?
The World Cup.
the World Cup, isn't it?
West Coast.
Yeah,
I think
USA,
Vancouver,
Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah.
That'd be mint, isn't it?
Amazing. But then they're playing games in East America. It's like New York, I think it's got games.
I'm going to New York for United Arsenal.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
I broke that on here, I remember. But you all said it was City.
What?
When I was like, United are playing, but I can't tell you who the fixtures again.
Oh, right. But
and
you
then
knew that.
were all like, oh, it's going to be Man City. And
Right.
It was Arsenal.
That'd be great, mate. New York in the summer, though. Wow. It's a sweat box.
It's in New Jersey at the MetLife.
Right,
I'll be
right,
staying in New York just before, which should be good.
Is that
And
where
then
Red Bulls play?
San Diego.
San Diego. Yeah.
San Diego. A Wales vagina. We'll be going there.
What's that?
San Diego. It's German for a Wales vagina.
Is it?
Yeah.
Never heard of that in my German GCSE exam. Never heard of that. What are you on about? Is that a joke? They're laughing in the back room. I don't know what it means. San Diego means a whale's vagina.
In German.
No, it doesn't. No, it don't.
It does.
Say it. San Diego.
San Diego.
You're having a laugh.
A Wales vagina.
That's probably why I've been banned off TikTok. For this kind of chat. I mean, I'm probably saying some mad shit, and TikTok just think I'm banning this guy. Do you know what I mean? But honestly, it's freedom of speech is absolutely gone on TikTok. They just delete things. What is this? Mussolini's Italy? Get my account back now. Now. All right. Do you know how many videos I saved? Some weird, wonderful TikTok videos. It's unbelievable. You should see some of the videos
if I
I've saved.
think I got deleted, I'd be gutted. You know why?
Yeah.
I've saved, like, you know when people do these food things and you're like, oh, I'm going to go eat there soon.
Yeah.
When I'm in this place.
It's all gone.
Yeah, save loads of them.
It's gone.
Makes me hungry, TikTok.
Yeah, makes me anxious and nervous as well. So I spend 6 hours a day on it. It makes me very anxious. It's getting banned in America as well. So bravo. I think it's the state of Montana is banning it. So bravo to those guys.
How would you feel when they ban it in England?
I think fair play. If it's banned, it's banned. Do you know what I mean? It's is what it is.
Do you think it should be banned? Would you, if you needed to make a campaign statement for banning TikTok or against banning TikTok?
Well, the CEO of TikTok went into the Senate and defended the app. I think the way he did it was very, very good. I'll be honest. But if there are ties to China, we have to have a real discussion about it.
So let's have that discussion.
I don't think there's any proof that there's ties to ByteDance with the Chinese government. I don't think you can actually prove that. But overall, I can see it geopolitically why you wouldn't want China involved in a social media app. No, but I'm thinking about the macro perspective, right? You know, China, America, it's getting tense out here, mate. It's getting tense.
This is what the people tune in for.
Yeah, it's the geopolitical show on.
So if you were Boris Johnson or Rishi Sunak, probably more me.
Yeah.
Would you ban TikTok?
I wouldn't ban it right now, but I'd think I'd really look into where the data goes.
Okay. So one last time, you do want your TikTok account back.
Oh, please have the TikTok account back,
Yeah.
and then we'll talk about the debate.
All right, cool.
All right,
Just
we will
making-
talk about it.
Just clearing that up.
It's a good app though. It's a fun app. It's a laugh. It's a laugh.
Yeah, even
know.
if they are infiltrating everyone, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So they kind of deserve it, right?
Plus, Instagram do it to us, and they're based in
Yeah.
America. What's the difference? What's the difference?
Yeah, it's true.
It's second half, by the way. 49 minutes into the game. This has got to be the biggest dead rubber game in a good couple of years. So we're just bringing the vibes on the club today. Because ultimately Chelsea have had a dead season. City have already won the Premier League. Beautiful. Could be 2 now.
City's season's been over. Chelsea's season's been over since before Lampard got there, right?
March. It was dead since March, wasn't it? Well, the Real Madrid games at the end of March, was it? Early April?
How did the thinking go behind bringing Lampard?
I got it at the time.
Haven't
Did you
got
not?
a
Did
clue.
you not sort of get it? Like
No, because
the
he
energy,
failed.
inspiration.
I would have got it if he hadn't had that first period there,
Yeah,
because then it makes sense.
yeah. But then the Everton job,
Yeah, it doesn't make
you
sense.
look
anymore.
really off the
I
boil
don't-
there.
It made more sense to bring Rafa Benitez back.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Big Sam.
Oh, Mudryk.
Oh, he's terrible, isn't he?
Straight down. No,
That's
it
not
wasn't even
Mudryk.
Mudryk. Just,
Lewis Hall.
You know, just blonde hair and that.
Yeah,
Just scream out Mudryk.
he's a good player. Lewis Hall's got good talent. Good talent. Young kid as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you thought Mudryk took that shot, you criticised him. And now you think
Yeah,
it's someone
yeah.
else.
Reverse psychology there. Nice, nice classic from you, mate. Yeah. Very nice. I would never have made that mistake. Okay. Oh, unbelievable.
How many games has Calvin Phillips played for you this season? Because there was one point where he'd made
15.
like 50 minutes. Oh, shit.
He's played 15, 14.
Julian
Can someone
Alvarez
check? I'm
just
not sure. It's something like 15 games.
Spots.
I don't think he's started. I think he's like third or fourth start this season in the league. No, not even that.
Havertz done well there. Got the ball out.
First start in the league, yeah.
Sterling. Mahrez fouled him
get
twice.
up. Get up, man.
Mahrez fouled him twice there.
How would you approach this if you were the manager, if you were Pep Guardiola, in terms of, because I'm interested because
Pep Guardiola
going into the Champions League final, we were flat going into that Champions League final because we rested players, we lost an FA Cup semi-final to Chelsea, etc.
You have to keep going, but up to a point. And the good thing for you is your game before the final is a
So
FA Cup
we've
final.
got Brighton next Thursday, Brentford. Does De Bruyne, Haaland, Rodri, all these lads, when do they
Maybe
play for
against
you?
Brighton, not against Brentford.
So you give
So
them one
I'd
game
go
off.
Brighton,
Off.
United, final.
Right.
You play your first strongest
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, that's
Or
interesting.
close to, or
Yeah.
maybe half of your strongest team against Brighton, half of it against Brentford.
Because that's what I'm really worried about as a City fan. I know it's a luxury to say that, but going into that Inter Milan game, I'm worried that even though we've smashed Real Madrid, it's that it becomes 2.5,
Do
3
you
weeks.
think
The energy
Pep
drops.
knows his team for the final already?
Yeah, I think if Ake's fit, I think Kyle Walker gets dropped. For me, because I don't think they've got mad pace on the break. I know Martinez has got a bit of pace. I don't think they've got mad pace. Dumfries plays on the other side to Kyle Walker, so I don't think that makes sense. For me, it's Ake left-sided centre-back, Diaz, Stones, Akanji as a back four with Stones popping into midfield. That's my preferred back four for the Inter Milan game. Obviously,
then-
it changes. I think Kyle Walker plays against United because of Rashford.
And then in the middle,
Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne. Then Grealish, Haaland, and then Bernardo Silva is the final. I think if everyone stays fit,
Mahrez,
that's
no?
the final.
It's amazing.
I think Mahrez
Amazing.
plays against Man United in the final with Phil
I think
Foden.
Mahrez is the best right winger in the Prem.
And now we're back to corruption.
Yeah.
Now we're back to how
Back
bad
to
it is.
Wikipedia pages.
No, but it shows you their brilliance, of course it does. But it also shows you there isn't another team in the world that has the ability to leave out a player of Mahrez's quality on a regular basis. In their biggest game of the season, Riyad Mahrez will not play.
We had a
know
super
what to
chat
say.
which you would have been interested in. I remember Elliot saying.
Yeah, I'll just pull it up now. LR said, we saved this one for you, Rory. Having a Corona in an Irish pub down in Little Italy, looking over the Dutch tulips of Darvers Lake in sunny Ottawa, Canada, listening to this brilliant British show presented by Adam Buvey and Rory. What a time to be alive.
That's the most international man in the world.
Yeah.
That is Mr. Worldwide.
He's
Pitbull.
Pitbull, yeah.
Pitbull is watching. I love that. What was it? He's in Ottawa, but he's drinking.
An Irish pub.
He's at an Irish pub
in
drinking.
Chinatown.
No, read it all out.
Little Italy.
Little
So he's in
Italy.
Italy drinking what?
No, he's
Drinking
in
Corona.
He's in
Canada.
Ottawa, in Little Italy, in an Irish pub, drinking a Corona.
Drinking a Corona. Watching a British show.
And
Pitbull.
he is Canadian.
Must be Canadian. Hey?
Eh?
That's what you say.
Yeah, eh?
Must be Canadian, hey? Do you know where I got that? King of Queens.
Oh yeah, but Canadians. I remember when my cousin come back from Canada once. He had a T-shirt with that on.
What? Hey?
Canada Air, just
Yeah.
on the T-shirt.
Yeah. There's a show I used to love, right? King of Queens. Do you ever watch it?
Yeah, I love it.
I used to love it.
Your man's in it. He passed away. A few
What?
years ago.
Doug Heffernan.
Not Doug Heffernan.
The father, Artie.
Yeah.
Did he die?
I love him.
Spooner.
Yeah.
He's Ben Stiller's dad.
Yeah.
Did he
I love
die?
him. Yeah, Jerry Stiller.
Did he die?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's passed away, didn't he? Let me make sure I'm getting that correct. But I love Jerry. That's the reason I love King of Queens is because of his character.
Yeah. Arthur.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, very funny. Living in the basement.
Yeah.
Very funny character. But,
Yeah, Jerry Stiller.
he died.
No, wait. Yeah, he passed away in 2020.
Aye. Did not know.
92 years old, though. He had a good innings.
Hero. Mate, his character in that was so funny.
Yeah,
it's like the
very
irrational, like
Just
lunacy
screaming
of
all
him
the time.
screaming. Yeah. Yeah, always like trying to come up with some sort of like ingenious business idea. Like just give it a rest. It's not working. No, it's very very good show. But
He's in Seinfeld as well, wasn't he?
yeah, my mate just got back from New York and he went to see Jerry Seinfeld stand up.
The lads want to go and do it when we're over there.
I'd love to do that.
So, yeah, I think that's
Are you there?
plan.
Are you there when Seinfeld's
The
performing?
lads have told me they want to do it. So
I mean,
I
you've
assume they've
got
checked.
to do it.
I
I mean,
assume they've checked.
he is the goat of that world. Like he might not be your favorite, but he is.
No, yeah, but it's like you have to go and see him.
Do you know what he's a bit? You know your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah,
Like whatever
everyone will give credit
whoever
to-
your favorite comedian is, your favorite comedian will love Jerry
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
and they'll give him credit.
Yeah,
It's kind of like Richard Pryor, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of them ones.
yeah.
Old school goat.
So are you in New York for United?
Yeah, so 4 or 5 days in New York.
Who are you
last
playing
year.
in New York?
Arsenal.
Oh, you're not playing one of the New York teams?
We're not playing any American teams. We're playing Arsenal, Dortmund, Madrid.
So Arsenal in New York City.
Yeah, Arsenal in New York, Wrexham in San Diego, Madrid in Houston, Dortmund in Vegas.
I've watched a game. There's a pub in New York,
Leon
which is
in
very much
Edinburgh.
an Arsenal pub. Like you obviously won't go there. I reckon you'll go to a pub called the Football Factory,
Yeah.
which is in New York, like right, sort of in
Then
Manhattan.
there's another pub I've been told United one.
There's
It's not
an
that
Arsenal one called, I think it's called the Pig, the Blind Pig or something like that, which is like a very much an Arsenal pub. When I was on my cousin's stag do, we went to New York because we got like quite a lot of family that live out there, and we were out there for the Arsenal Tottenham game. Watched it in that pub. Tottenham won. Look, I never want Tottenham to win, but you know when I'm like surrounded by Arsenal fans.
Was that the Harry Kane?
It was
corner
Harry
flag
Kane
one?
with the mask on, yeah. Yeah, 2017.
That's the goal where I looked at it and just thought,
Yeah, how have you scored from there? Like, what are you
Jesus,
doing?
Just ridiculous.
Also, on that occasion, you know when people go no big goals, you're like, all right, he's done that in an North London derby.
Yeah.
Like, it's heavy. It's heavy hitting that.
Here we
Great
go.
cross.
Oh,
no.
Kevin.
Keeper had
Calvin
that covered,
Phillips
no
was it?
drama.
Who's number 4? I can't.
Calvin Phillips.
Oh, is it?
Keeper had it covered, though, I think.
I love seeing him score Calvin Phillips today.
Oh, shut up. What are you doing?
Big game for him.
Yeah, big game.
He's going in the summer, right?
No.
Unless you keep
Yeah.
him for your English quote.
Hey, lads, he's on like a 7-year contract.
Doesn't mean you can't sell
He's
him. though.
best friends with Fergie. At the tape.
Oh, right.
He's on a
yeah.
6-year contract. His best mate with Fergie.
Boys, we've had another super chat and someone describing where they're watching. in
Oh,
the
I like
world.
it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it.
You'll like this one, right? Big Daz says, "Hey guys, watching the show on a council estate in northwest London, drinking a warm beer, sweating my bollocks off.
Yes,
what a time to
lad.
be alive."
Geezer, whereabouts in North West London? Did he give a postcode?
No, people tend to not give their postcodes out. I mean,
No, not the specific, but you can say like, so I live in Northwest 6. You can go
Yeah,
that far.
Yeah, you can say that, yeah. E1 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go that far. You can't say the second 3 digits. That's pinpoint.
Yes,
That's
precise
pinpoint.
that, isn't it?
That's pinpoint.
It's within 8
That is
addresses
pinpoint.
usually,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. That's pinpoint. You can't do
can
that.
get nasty, that, yeah.
people find you from like when you upload a picture on that these days, isn't it? Geolocation.
You know, a Liverpool fan found certain information about my family, like real shit, after I slated them in a video. Like a Liverpool, this is years ago. Real information. Like madness.
Well, you
do you know what I
sound
mean?
Like you're hiding something.
No, like where people lived. Like, do you know what I mean?
okay.
It's heavy. Football fans will go to extraordinary length
That's how
when
come
you
to
wind
my
them up
house.
on Twitter.
Fucking be outside.
Madness.
Chopper.
Does
Self-defense if they cover your property, isn't it? It's all right.
No, it's not. Isn't that a guy that got burgled and he got
remember
done for
he
12
shot
years?
them on a farm.
And he got done for 12.
That's
and it was like,
sad, that.
lads.
You see that TikTok of them kids running some.
I
geezer's
saw
house?
that. I saw that.
And then if he slaps
pathetic.
somebody, he's going to be called the.
What's the account? Can anyone find the
No,
account?
it does
Why
not
are
get
you
the
gonna
publicity.
promote people?
It does not.
Well, no, I want to
You're
say
an idiot.
they're
No.
terrible. All right,
Yeah, how
fine.
are they
It's a good
posting
shout.
TikToks and you got banned?
Yeah, exactly. I said that today
What, you
to a
banned
mate
them?
on my life.
Are you banned from TikTok?
Yeah, I'm banned.
What do you mean?
Well, because they're all melts at TikTok.
No, but what? Why?
I don't know.
So you've.
I don't know,
so your
bro.
TikTok. Hang on. So I don't know this story. Your TikTok currently, if you go, it's gone.
Deleted.
You might be getting deja vu at home, but.
Oh, what have you had this on?
Yeah,
but
when
no,
you're in the
it's
toilet.
funny.
But I've
Carry
been on the whole show. How do I? Have I?
You just went to the toilet.
Oh, you did it then?
You did a shit in it.
No, I ate.
That was long.
Oh,
I
yeah.
ate.
Oh, did you?
Starving.
Nice one.
Thanks
I
for-
have
thanks
started.
for- Wait a minute. I've been getting you
Thanks.
chocolate bars for the last
Yeah,
4
I know, I
months.
know.
You didn't get me fuck all.
No.
Oh, Rory, do you want a juice?
Mate,
do you want
I
a
came-
Twix?
okay,
Oh,
do you really wanna do
I'll
this?
have-
Do you
I'll
want-
have-
where's
I'll
the
have
food
juice.
then?
I'll have a Twix.
Not even a chip or something.
Not even a mention.
They
You
didn't have
were
any.
shoving food in the corner there. You didn't even think, oh, Buvey's a bit hungry and all that.
I didn't
you
know Booby was
Adam's
a bit hungry.
starving.
What do you mean?
Look
I'm
at
Also,
hungry.
it
I'm always
wasn't
hungry.
shareable food.
Yeah,
Some
What-
foods
what
are
was
shareable.
it?
It was
All
extra.
food is shareable. You could have put it
I
in
would have
our
had a bit of
mouth.
extra.
It
It's a terrible
it doesn't
name,
feel
man.
You would have had the
shareable. Yeah,
slot.
It's embarrassing.
For sure.
I was actually in Egg Slut a few days ago, and the chef was, and she was there, like, she was cooking loads of burgers, and it had eggs. No, but Egg Slut. It's like mocking. It's like taking the piss. An Egg Slut.
I hate it. I didn't even want to say it. But no, I do think that TikTok thing. I saw him nick someone's dog. You seen that?
I've not seen that. I've not
Absolute
seen
little
that.
prick. I can't wait for him to
Horrible little
rat.
prick.
Yeah, like to nick someone's dog, an old woman's dog.
Yeah.
You go, oh, can I
He
play
ran
with
into
the
the family house, and the
No.
wife with the kid was like, "Come downstairs to the husband," and all that.
No, it's
Lads,
horrific.
It's not a
Lads,
good
it's
look.
a
Also,
chat.
it could end terribly.
Yeah,
Like the fella might come down and just like
Just
attack.
smash his face.
Yeah.
We've got a super chat here that I don't think Elliot has told us to read out because it's attacking him.
He's like that. He wouldn't do it.
Luke Dalton says, Elliot, no, wait.
It's not attacking me.
No, wait. I've read it wrong. It's attacking Rory, sorry.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Thank you.
All right, I won't read it out.
How
Now,
about
he said you suggested Damsgaard as one of Brentford's players of the season last week.
Terrible.
0 goals, 0 assists.
I didn't say he's one. Brentford's got players of the season. I ain't got clues. Brentford's player of the season. Why would I have said that? And Mbwepo off the back of yesterday. I'll go for him. Why would I have said that?
Buvey's looking at me like he definitely said it, even though earlier today,
I remember you saying
Buvey,
something about
you
Damsgaard.
said something and then acted like you didn't say it 5 seconds
What?
later.
What?
Yeah, you,
Say it then.
mug.
What was it?
People know already.
I don't know. How many people in the chat, by the way? How many people watching the stream? 6,500. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe.
If I'm chatting about Brentford's player of the season,
We actually did a video about it last week.
We did everyone's.
Of every
player.
player, every player.
Mate, very forgetful club, man. Very forgettable
Thank you
club.
for tuning in to the club, everyone. As you can see,
Brentford. If I
we
care.
really.
Pathetic little fucking waste of
That
club.
video was for Super Six. Shout out to Super Six. They've been back in. They've been back in the club this
Was it?
season. It was for Super Six. It's on Super Six's YouTube channel.
Oh, that's a great video.
lads,
You should
make sure
really
you
check it
check it
out.
out.
You should really check it out. I've given that one the due diligence that it deserves. It's one of my favourite videos. I really thought it out. Good hit.
Great
Great
effort.
hit.
It's on target from Sterling. Round of applause for Raheem Sterling there.
We're so bad, aren't we? It's just so
It's
bad.
been a long season for you lot.
It's been a long season for everyone.
Yeah,
You know, this time last year
everyone
we
wants it over now.
won. This time last year was the final day of the season. We were doing a certain stream and we beat Aston Villa 3-2. So the
Was that
World
a
Cup
year ago?
You were on
I got
90
the
min.
memories. I got the memory. Huh?
You were on 90 min.
Why are you bringing? You were on it once. We never invited you back.
Yeah, why?
Uh,
Because I rattled you.
no,
I
'cause
turned
you-
up, rattled
Because
booze.
it was
what
one of the
were you
worst
on?
views. It was one of the
What
worst
were you on
videos
last
ever.
week, though? What were you on
Last week I was on the club
What?
last week. Brought to you by Super
One of
Six.
90 min's views actually got views, so they didn't invite me back. Like,
it didn't
shit,
get-
you
it
know,
didn't
I
get
can't do
views.
that, lad.
No. I
Showing everyone up
I
every
literally
week.
said the opposite. I said it didn't get any views because you were on it. But
So where were you this time last year?
watching Man City beat Aston Villa live.
Where?
Huh? On the internet. What
do you mean on
platform?
the internet?
Not TikTok. It was YouTube. No, it wasn't YouTube. It was another platform.
What platform? TikTok.
Another one begins with T.
Telegram.
I can't even think what
Telegram.
you're talking about.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Facebook.
I can't remember what you're talking about.
it was a beautiful day at the office. Or in the studio.
I can't remember.
We beat them 3-2. Ilkay Gundogan last minute.
I've got no recollection of that.
That game was incredible.
Although, do you know what happened to me today? Seriously. I got on the tube today, full of Geordies.
Oh,
It's
sounds terrible.
Why?
because there's a game going on at Wembley that must involve
Yeah, the motorway said there's traffic
Geordies. I
at
don't-
Wembley, and I was like, "There's no playoff."
No,
today,
there is.
There? There's no.
There is,
playoff.
mate. I was at Kilburn High Road. I had to go down my nan's.
No,
Kilburn
I
High Road,
know
all
Wembley's
the pubs
busy.
is full of
Carlisle-
Geordies.
It's the
Carlisle.
FA Trophy and Gateshead are playing in it.
Oh,
Gateshead.
FA Trophy,
Is that what it
Gateshead.
is?
Yeah, why are you
It's
telling us to worry
Gateshead
about
and then a
traffic
team from
for the
Yorkshire.
FA Trophy?
And the only reason I know that is because
also
the
the
fellas
a
on
marathon in
the
the local area.
the fellas on the. Go on, son.
No, not you. I'm on about
You'll miss this.
the motorway.
Oh, what skills?
That's all you.
Goal!
Oh,
Goal!
Is that a goal? It's offside.
Offside.
That little flip was like he did that against us for Liverpool. Do you remember that against Joe Hart?
did what?
He did that. Goes inside and out, and then he hits it near post on his right foot. Look at this.
It's quite a good dummy.
Look at that. He
Look,
goes
he
there,
sells
and then
him
on the
here.
right, and then on the right.
That is a great dummy.
He did that at Anfield. Yeah, he's good at that.
It's
He's offside though.
whoever they're playing is another team from Yorkshire because there was a few geezers on the train.
Booth, by
That
the
were
way,
the most Yorkshire accents.
why
I've
aren't
ever
you
heard.
coming to the playoff final with us?
I'm actually at a festival.
That's pathetic, bro.
What festival?
Big day out with the lads.
I know I would have loved to have come.
Big
but
day
I'm
out
free-
with
I'm
the
free,
lads.
but
What festival?
It's called Wide Awake.
Oh, you're at that.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Where is it?
Yeah, I know. By the way, I've heard of it.
I've heard of it as well. What
Where
kind of
is it?
music is it?
It's electronic.
I'm going to reggae
Where is
festival
it?
this summer.
Is it? Yeah.
Where it?
Brockwell Park.
Oh, South London.
Yeah.
Sod that.
Barrington Levy and that.
So
You want to come?
Yeah. Well, not Bank Holiday Monday in London.
I don't think it's in London.
Oh right.
It's a big one though.
Barrington Levy.
I've seen Barrington Levy live.
Really? How old is he
in
now?
02.
Oh,
Quite
mate.
old. About just before COVID.
Oh, unbelievable.
How long has this geezer been refereeing? I feel
Dunno,
like
he's
I've seen-
terrible.
Yeah.
This season is so long. Can this season just end?
And then we've got 2 weeks, and it's the next
Killed me.
season. It's August
What
12th.
happened this season? that
Killed
doesn't
me.
feel like
August
it
12th.
happened this
Mate, you
season.
said it to me. Well, we had this conversation off camera, didn't we? Cristiano Ronaldo has scored for Manchester United this season. That's ridiculous.
Mad, isn't it?
Frank Lampard
Thomas
has
Tuchel was
managed.
Chelsea manager
Frank
this
Lampard has managed Everton against Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea this
We
season.
watched that game together, didn't we?
Do
in
you know the handshake
Oh.
when Conte and Tuchel had the?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was this season. That was this season.
That was this season.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That was good. That wasn't
Conte and Tuchel
it? I like
handshake
that.
was this
That was
season.
better than Wenger. That and Mourinho.
Well, it was actual hands on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was actual hands on.
Because that was like, I don't want to shake your hand, but it was shaking
And then
hands.
Tuchel.
And then
got-
like no one wants to let go. And then,
Do you know what
No,
a weird one?
Tuchel
Nathan
held up.
Jones. I know it's not as early as what you just said. Nathan Jones it was a Premier League manager. That happened.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? That was weird. Nathan Jones.
Yeah, this is the longest season that anyone has ever.
He's going to
been to.
Cardiff City, I think.
You're so lucky to have had a good season, the season that it never ends.
Yeah, it's just beautiful all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Unbelievable.
the fact that Chelsea have had a dreadful season in the never-ending season is just really
Draining.
annoying. Yeah.
Now, what
draining.
happens if it goes again? Because August the 12th is when it starts again, I think, or August 13th.
But I'll be recharged by then. I'll be like a coiled
Will you?
spring, ready to go.
You're going on holiday,
Yeah,
and you're like complete,
I'm going
phone
on-
off kind of.
mate. I'm going
relaxed.
to the Icos in Marbella. I'll be
Wow.
ready. I'll be so
I've got
ready.
a few
That's
holidays
beautiful.
as well.
Yeah, where are you going?
Going to
First
America
one's
for football,
Portugal.
man. You're going to football holidays.
First one's
That's
Portugal.
what you do a lot of
And then
football
I'll do
holidays.
Barbados just before
Yeah.
the season.
What in yeah,
In
so
Barbados.
July. Yeah, living the life.
Mate, you should get out there. It's nice, man.
I can't do the flights. I'm 6'4". My knees go.
Get a little bit premium economy in your life.
Yeah, business class. Yeah.
We can't afford the proper business class yet, so make sure you subscribe so we can.
Yeah,
Please.
super chat me £1,000, please, and we'll do it, lads. All right,
It's not 1,000,
but
either
not
for
on
a
the club
business
because
class.
we have to divide it equally on the club. I don't want that on my personal channel. Please a super chat
You may
1,000.
as well just send him.
Just send me money.
Cash.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, you're gonna give
Western
YouTube
Union.
60% of that. You might as well
yeah.
just
Western Union.
you might as well
please.
just
An
tell them your bank
envelope-
details.
An envelope full of cash. Oh, what's happened?
Oh.
just tell them your bank details and say put it in. Just
Yeah,
say your
it's
bank
like-
details
it's like
out.
One, it's nationwide
Buvey.
1269. No, I'm joking, obviously. What was that? What happened there? Oh, yeah, it's
That
a
wasn't
foul.
a foul.
I mean, it can't not be a foul.
It's so soft though, man.
Because if launching him over is not a foul.
If the defender does that to Alvarez and Alvarez drops, does Alvarez get a free kick?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Adam.
Just a foul, Adam.
If Fofana does that to Alvarez in the box, is it a penalty?
I wonder if Sterling's getting a nicer reception.
You'll get a decent one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll get a good
I'll give him one there. Fantastic player for us. That's Lewis Hall's coming on, Adam. Unbelievable. Fantastic.
Yeah,
What a player.
Lewis, the Ukrainian Lewis Hall is coming on.
He called Lewis Hall Mudrick when you were in the toilet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I just seen blonde hair.
Blonde there, innit?
You know us Browns. being
Lewis Hall
racist.
actually played quite well against you in the cup. I remember.
He did, yeah.
Should have scored.
But then he sort of never played after that, did he? It's a weird one.
No, he had a really good
Have a
game.
crack.
Never saw him again.
There you go.
Oh.
Great effort.
On target.
Hey, it's so good. Yeah. Doing
He's
this to
like
the
he's like
champions.
Matter in it, where Matter never hits anything really hard.
He's
what
nowhere
about a
near
volley he scored against you, mate? Stamford Bridge.
Oh yeah, actually.
Ping
But I
that.
mean, there used to be times where you'd go, just fucking.
No, but I
smash
quite. Do you
it,
know
and he'd
what?
Caress it
Just
nicely.
like passing the ball into
Yeah.
the back of the net. It's a very nice art. Just
Yeah. I'm
gently
like that.
ease it.
I never power anything.
Just
I love
just
Matt.
gently ease
We
it.
ruined man.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, you made him boring.
Well, he was he was Chelsea's Player of the Year 2 seasons running.
What a play! He's electric.
For some reason, we sold him.
You don't buy him for Moyes and Mourinho.
No,
It's just
You
he was
bored him out.
Chelsea's Player of the Year 2 seasons in a row. And bearing in mind the season that we won the European Cup and then the Europa League, they're the 2 seasons.
you know,
he's on.
United fans like, you know, with every player that's joined the club over the last 10 years, there'll be a percentage of a group of United fans that hate that player because you know most players are flat. Not one person, I think, hates one.
No,
like,
He's a very Man United player, Matt.
universal.
Not for the right managers, but Manchester United of old would have.
Yeah.
He would have flourished.
I don't think any football fan can dislike him. A bit like
No.
David Silva, maybe. I don't think you could
Yeah.
find a reason to dislike David
proper
Silva.
footballer.
Zola, is
Good
another
man
one.
as well. Like Matter.
Yeah.
Berbatov.
He's got all the time in the world for everyone, no matter who you are. Like it's just when out of all the people that I've interviewed and spent time with, he's
Good guy.
top
Do
of
you
the
think
list.
more?
in
Do
terms
you
of,
think
like,
more matter
making you feel happy
in
around
terms of the
Yeah.
player that he should be, and ultimately what he achieved in his career? I think that he could have been a great, and he won't be a great for anyone. I think that what I thought he was going to be and what he displayed in 2 seasons at Chelsea, and ultimately now he's finished.
It's
at
kind
that
of like
level.
Ruud van Nistelrooy's career because 5 years of it were at United and then 5 years were at Madrid. It gets split. Obviously, he's still a United
God,
legend.
what is going on here?
Mara's in the bar.
Oh, Morris. Oh, beautiful.
Alvarez. Handball somewhere. Chelsea players are claiming for a handball somewhere.
I think there's a handball in that. It's pathetic.
I don't know where.
Be a
But
hat trick for Alvarez.
Mate, that's just isn't that keeper? It's not quite an assist, but it's a keeper's
What's he
assisting the
doing?
assist.
Yeah. Haaland's coming on.
He wants some goals, doesn't it?
He's
Rude.
thinking, but what? It's mental for me. I don't get it. For me, he doesn't play this game, but I don't know, Ethan.
Mate, what's 20 minutes going to matter to him?
I know, but one big little challenge. But I guess you're not even getting close to us, are you?
No, but also you're keeping him going, aren't you?
Oh,
as
it's
well?
handball.
Oh, it is handball.
It is handball.
But he's passed it. Doesn't the rule say if you pass it, it's only handball if the person who scores handballs it?
That can't be the rule.
No, you bring it back for.
That was the rule, isn't it?
No.
What,
Well, they're making it up as
if
they
the
go
ball
along.
hits your
That's handball.
arm
If I was a
and
Chelsea
it's
fan, I'd be aggrieved.
unintentional and then you
It
pass
is
it.
handball.
That's handball.
But it's going to be ruled out, surely.
If you bother checking it, if you bother
but they're
putting this
checking it.
shitty system into the system of football, it's a handball, isn't it?
No, it's clear handball.
There shouldn't even be VAR. Period.
Goal.
It shouldn't
Oh, no,
even
he's
be
going to
Man
have a
City.
look, right?
Oh, look at him running as well. These
Wait,
guys, man.
is he going to have a look at
Oh,
Stand these
VAR
guys.
takes so long. Look at the pathetic ref running. Like,
but he's-
don't
the
think
ref
about
doesn't-
this,
what-
don't make
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
What, you want the
he's still
referee to walk over
No,
there
the
so you
ref
can
doesn't
go
need to
fine?
go over though, does he?
What's time?
The fact that we could already tell him he's got a headpiece here.
So Howard Webb's gone onto a thing. Why does he get?
Why doesn't Howard Webb just
say
go through
Go on
and
then.
no goal?
It's touched his arm.
'Cause
End of
ultimately it's the
discussion.
referee's
10
decision.
seconds. 10 seconds. That was 2 minutes gone of my life. Wasted.
That's how I feel every time I sit next to you.
Was 2.5 hours. It's 2.5 hours. Do your research. Can't believe it. Boring, isn't it?
Yeah, City are boring.
Erling Haaland is the first time that City have had like the superstar of the world, isn't
Did you
it?
see Jamie Redknapp? Was it Jamie Redknapp the other day? He was like, it's the first time the Premier League have a genuine superstar. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bruv? You idiot.
No, I know what he means though.
He's talking bollocks.
It's the first time that the best player in the world, or the most iconic player, like, because obviously for years the Premier League was like fairly dominant, but you had Ronaldo and Messi in Spain, which made La Liga.
Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or, you know.
And then went to Madrid.
But he won the Ballon d'Or.
But he was never playing in England as the Ballon d'Or.
Yes, he was in
He
09.
peaked at Real Madrid. He
He won the Ballon d'Or in 08. He stayed at United for 09. Got to the Champions League final.
It's different,
the
man.
Premier
He
League.
peaked at Real Madrid.
Okay, but the
That's
vast
not the point.
majority.
That version of Ronaldo that scored 42 goals is as good
It
as
is the
or,
point.
not,
You didn't-
or better than most
You
players
didn't
that have played
sign
in
that.
the
You
Premier
signed a young kid from Lisbon. He wasn't a
But he was a
superstar then.
superstar.
And as soon as he became
Haaland's already-
superstar,
When
Yeah,
you talk
made
about
superstar.
superstar, David Beckham was a superstar. Thierry Henry was a superstar.
I think you're missing Jamie Redknapp.
No, but
Redknapp's point.
during that period, the Galacticos were the superstars, and they weren't playing the Premier League.
Mate.
We've signed him ready to go.
I don't even think this is that.
Well, there's not a debate,
also,
mate.
it's not even
We're
that
not saying David
controversial.
Beckham's not a superstar.
No.
I'm just saying that the best players in the world, for a decade and a half were in Spain because it was Ronaldo and Messi, and then more
So
recently,
there's only one superstar.
no. More recently, it's been Modric. More recently than that, it's been Lewandowski, and now I think
That's nonsense, man. That's nonsense. Even the Premier League's had huge amounts of superstars.
We're not saying there aren't
It hasn't
superstars.
had
That's the word that he used, and I
It
know we're
hasn't
getting
had-
caught up on a word that kind of
Real
has no
Madrid signed
definition.
Ronaldo as a superstar. He went to their league as a prime superstar. Henry, the players that you mentioned, Beckham, they developed within the league as a superstar. Haaland has been signed as a pre-made
Is that the point he
superstar.
made, though?
That's what I think he's trying to say.
I don't think
he's
made
coming
that
as a
point.
Galactico
If he tried to make that
signing.
point, then he made it
Well
horribly.
played.
I don't think he has.
If that's the point he made,
But I don't
then
even
fair
think,
enough.
even
He
the
might
point
be a
that
bit
you were
closer to
arguing,
being
though,
right. No,
like,
no.
he's the best players in
I
the
saw
world.
a quote which said like something along the lines of the first genuine Premier League superstar in the Premier League or something like that. That's just horrendous.
I think
That's horrendous.
you're labelling a lot of things howlers today.
That's
It's-
horrendous.
it's-
I've been watching too much film, fellas, but that's horrendous. Like
It's-
to say,
Has he
To
said
say
that?
that.
Can we get
But I don't
fact
even
check
think.
in the
I
back
don't
room?
even think.
I just want to double
the best.
check
The
this,
best for 15 years. The best players
no, but
in
you're
the
getting
world.
caught up on who
Jamie
the best player
Redknapp.
in the
Of
world
course,
was.
but there's superstars in every division.
But that
But
doesn't
we
make
all,
sense.
we all
Superstars in
agree that
France,
Haaland
there's
and Mbappe are the two that are taking on the mantle
Exactly.
from Messi and Ronaldo.
Exactly,
And
one of them
plays
is
in the
here.
Premier League.
Exactly, that's
There's
it.
only
That's
two
all it is.
superstars.
That's all it is.
At the moment,
That's nonsense. That's
Jamie,
nonsense.
Jamie Redknapp said this is the first genuine superstar we've had in the Premier League.
That's bollocks. That
That's
is the
all it
that
is
bollocks.
the best. I agree with you. Mbappe is one of them. Haaland is the
Imagine
other.
these two idiots agree with Jamie Redknapp.
Over you,
know Jamie
over
Redknapp
you.
from-
Heaven forbid
That's
we,
it, you know
we agree with the
you're
professional footballer over you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's terrible.
Mean.
That's terrible of us.
Fucked over Louise Redknapp. His head's not that right. But mate, it's a
I think
it's
you-
horrendous. It's
we're not
wrong.
saying there's no other good
Incorrect.
footballers in the world.
No,
We're just
but I've
saying
not
that,
said that.
there's two that have dominated football for the last 15 years. We
And they
agree
haven't
that
been
Mbappe
Premier
and
League
Haaland are
players.
the kind of the man. They take the mantle over.
So when Thierry Henry was in the Premier League, he wasn't a superstar.
No.
When Cristiano Ronaldo was in the
not in the
Premier League,
last
wasn't a
10, 15
superstar.
But in the last 10,
When
15 years.
Sergio Aguero wasn't in the Premier League, wasn't a superstar.
No, not in the same way as Haaland is.
When Mo
We
Salah
signed him
was in
from
the Premier
Atletico
League, he
Madrid.
wasn't
No,
a
so-
superstar.
Salah came from Roma.
But what? But you just heard the quote.
Yeah.
You can still be a superstar, but there's a scale of superstar, isn't there? There's a spectrum. Kyle Walker is a superstar.
I'm running a
but he's
poll.
not a superstar in the way that he's like
Luis Suarez wasn't a superstar.
went to Barcelona as soon as he
You
became
don't
that.
start-
And he,
that's-
Yeah, that's true.
That doesn't change the fact he played in the Premier League, man.
We're not saying
You
he didn't
can't
play
go-
in the Premier League.
Oh,
Mate,
yeah, but
Steven
then-
Gerrard is a superstar, but
Oh,
not like this.
Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or,
Didier
but he went to
Drogba,
Real
but not
Madrid,
like
so he don't
this.
count. That doesn't make sense.
Messi and Ronaldo are more of a superstar than Didier Drogba.
Yeah. There's only
Not even
you can only have a
controversial.
couple of superstars a generation.
Not even a controversial.
Haaland isn't
Every
a bigger
footballer is a
better
superstar.
footballer. He's a better goal scorer. He's not a better footballer than Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo were, any of those guys
mate,
were. And he's definitely not a bigger superstar than Cristiano Ronaldo was in 2008 when he played for the biggest club in the world.
United, bro. Why is it about
Henry,
Man
then,
United every
you could
time?
say about
I just
anyone.
don't get it, bro.
And of course, I'm going to bring up Man United
Yeah, but
players
you
because we
make
won
it- you make-
13
you-
Premier League titles. You fucking idiot. So what? You're not going to talk about the best team
Here we
who have the
go,
best
here we
players?
go, here we
Of course,
go.
you're going to
I
bring
mean,
up those players.
What we're trying to say
All
is
right, I won't talk about Man
Can I-
United players.
okay. Can I
Thierry
at
Henry.
least explain what I think he's trying to say? Every decade, there's a couple of players. All right. In the 70s, we're talking what? Best Cruyff, Maradona in the 80s, 90s, Ronaldo, R9 in the 90s. In the 2000s, we're talking Messi and Ronaldo. In the 2020s going on, it's going to be Haaland and Mbappe. And one of them plays in the Premier League. And for the last 20, 30, 40 years, they've never played in the Premier League. R9 never played in the Premier League. Cruyff never played in the Premier
You've
League.
demonstrated the point.
It's nonsense.
perfectly.
Maradona never
You're
played in
complete-
England.
It's
You're
not-
completely
I've
correct.
just given you players that have played in the Premier
But
League.
Give me
They're
them.
not the
Beckham is not
literally one-
Maradona.
No, Beckham's
Who
not
the
Maradona.
fuck said Beckham was Maradona?
But you
just
just-
said
you
that.
just brought
There's a
Beckham up.
spectrum of
Fuck this debate.
superstars.
Forget
There's
it.
a but
Forget it.
David Beckham's an elite footballer,
Forget
but
it.
he's not a superstar in the way
Forget
that
it.
Maradona was.
Forget it. Forget it. You're like a dumb man. Anything I say,
Come
you just
on,
say
Ad.
dumb shit.
Yeah.
It's just pointless.
How's it dumb?
Henry, he's not a superstar.
Okay, don't put the
Cristiano
voice
Ronaldo,
on.
why
Don't
you
be
saying Man
disrespectful.
United
All right,
players?
don't be disrespectful. All right,
It's
we'll,
just
we'll
stupid.
we'll drop the debate. Don't be disrespectful to how
Why?
people speak.
If you bring up Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm not allowed to use Man United players. If I say Henry, apparently he's not a superstar.
Of course he is in
beyond
the
me.
Premier League terms. He wasn't a generational player. There's only
Henry wasn't generational.
Thierry Henry wasn't the icon of
Henry was
the
a
France
better
team at the
footballer
same
than
time as
Haaland will ever
Zidane
be.
was, and Zidane was playing for Real Madrid as a Galactico.
All right, so yeah, Henry, you weren't a superstar, bro. Sorry, man.
But
Because there was a better player that played for you elsewhere, you're not a superstar.
I'm just going to say the results of the poll. Is Haaland the PL's first superstar? Yes, 22%. No, 78%.
Thanks.
Respectfully from at least this side of the table, to disagree on that one.
I kind of see where Jamie Redknapp's coming from. But again, I don't really think it matters. I would have always said that over the past, say, 10 years, or even less, 5 years, the superstars in the Premier League, it was like what made the Premier League special was we had the best managers. All the best managers were here. Conte was here.
Yeah.
Mourinho was here. Guardiola was here. The players, I thought, at the time, it was Messi, Ronaldo, and they were elsewhere. Now, Mbappe, Haaland.
It's a massive shame that we never saw enough of it. We never saw, we never saw enough of those big players out of those two. It was always in Spain for 10 years.
But you know what? It was so useful to La Liga because it made me, particularly for the Clasico, made me interested in La Liga. Like, I'm never going to watch. I'm never going to watch Iber versus Seville.
We've had this debate, haven't we? We've said I've not watched the Clasico in the same way ever again.
No.
Such a shame.
Until it's Mbappe versus
now,
Haaland.
What if
until it's Mbappe versus Haaland,
Imagine
and then
that.
maybe
the whole world watches.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole world watches.
Exactly.
It's a whole different scale.
Yeah. That would actually. You should have used that argument a minute ago because that's actually quite a good point.
I can't do it. It's unbelievable, though. Unbelievable.
I'm really happy this game's only 1-0.
Yeah, could have been maybe 2.
Well, mate, we're going to get an equaliser. Oh, you're in trouble now. Koulibaly.
Big player.
Why hasn't he been starting? Has he been injured?
He's not very good, mate.
Do you sell him?
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
But does anyone buy him?
No.
It's mad that Napoli sold him and won the league.
It's mental, isn't it? It's mental.
But the geezer who's replaced him has been wicked.
Mertens. Did he leave at the same time?
Not
He
sure.
was like one of their better players, wasn't he? And then
Yeah.
weird how it works. Like because Mertens was kicking about for so long, and then he,
Yeah. Over the years, they've had some brilliant players.
Lavezzi
was there, innit?
Remember
Lavezzi. Yeah, Cavani was there.
Cavani and Lavezzi.
Yeah.
They ripped us at the Etihad.
They ripped
When
us
we first-
away.
I think
We knocked them out. We knocked them out at home, but they ripped us away.
Yeah. Who's the bold guy midfield? The Uruguay midfielder, nasty little
Not Cambi.
defensive midfielder. Forgot his name.
Yeah, I know.
Napoli, about 10 years ago. Like a Uruguayan, nasty little defensive midfielder. Forgot his
I can
name.
see his face. For some reason, I can see him stood next to Cavani.
But they had a real
I'm
nasty
thinking
little
of
side.
Cambiasso, but it's not him. Cambiasso is someone we should have said for the Inter thing.
Yeah, what a player he is. What a player.
Apparently, you're on about Gökhan Inler.
Inler.
Yeah.
No, he's Swiss.
Inler played there, though.
But I wasn't talking about Inler. I was talking about someone else. The chat just don't understand.
Short keeper. I know there's people in
Why do you
glass
have it?
houses. I know there's
Yeah.
people in glass houses, but short keeper.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Paul Dickov.
Paul Dickov.
I played football with him.
God, he's aged.
You know Paul Dickov as well. When you look at, to be fair, he hasn't aged in the last 10 years.
No, he looked like that when you
looked
played
that
with
when I
him.
played with him. But you know when I met him, I was like, this geezer's got to be a wanker. You know what I mean? Like,
Really,
you
yeah.
see him on the football pitch and that, you just think, oh my god.
Did he
Paul
ever give
Dickov.
that?
He did give
What,
that.
No,
wanker
he was that kind of
impression,
player.
was he?
No, he was that
Yes,
kind of.
he
He
was
was a
horrible.
very much like.
And then you meet
I never
him.
got that. Well, yeah.
Got
And you
be
meet him and
aggressive
he's
football.
so nice.
Good football.
Is he, yeah?
He's so nice. Such a nice guy.
I think his son's in the academy. I think I'm
Yeah,
wrong about that.
he was still at it as well.
Yeah.
He's still at it.
But all those players will. You know when you play with like.
Well, they don't, because I think we've spoken about this before. But my team had like David May, and all the players that they put in the United team were just horrendous. Like, just didn't.
Who played for the
didn't-
City?
Really?
Trevor Sinclair.
Was he
he's
still
always
good?
fit.
He was
Yeah, he's
still
always
good, he's
fit.
still fit. Richard Dunn.
Richard
Meg-
He was
Him.
never. He was never
Meg-
though.
Uh,
Did he score an own goal?
Richard Dunn was
No.
built like a rugby player, but he was
Did it-
fit.
it-
Scored a
He
couple
won
of
the
goals.
he won
Loved
the
an
Man
own
City
goal.
Player of the Year 4 times in a row.
Yeah, but
yeah,
he was up
when you're
against
in the
Georgios
Championship.
Samarasan.
Yeah, but still, for a Premier League club, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah, no, of course.
Who played for Man City? Any YouTubers? I never got invited.
No,
to
this
that,
would have been
actually.
years
was
ago.
a
though.
very
This
long
would have been
time
years
Yeah,
ago.
but
ago.
any City
Ant
YouTubers?
Crawler was in my team.
Who?
Ant Crawler, a boxer. Boxers can't play football either. It's bad. What do you say? In the
Top
City
heavy.
team,
Any
it was
City people?
McInerney, that's it. And then there
McInerney.
was
Is
just
he any good at
rest-
Did he play football?
Nah, and then the rest were
Very
the
quick
rest
no
were
there.
like
He just can't play football.
ex-players. I can't remember him.
I'd
playing.
shout any charity games that want a City fan. I'm decent. I love playing football. I want to play more football, lads.
Hmm.
We should
I've
play
been
some more football, lads.
Since we've got that game next week, I've been trying to get fit, man.
Yeah,
fitness
yeah.
kills me,
Yeah.
especially on them big pitches.
Is it an 11-side game that we're
Yeah.
playing? Shout out, we're
I
playing a
played in
charity
it.
game.
I
don't
played
think
in it
we can
last
say, but,
England versus Scotland.
and who's the captain of Scotland?
Don't know.
Don't know. Yeah.
Kind of Henrik Larsson at Ibrox. Phil Neville scored there once in a 1-0 win.
What, in the Champions League?
Yeah, and I remember when Rooney had his issues with the contract. with Fergie, and Fergie did that cow in the other field speech.
Yeah.
And then we played Rangers away, and Rooney scored 1-0, and it was like, it was the first goal he scored where you kind of like, you've just broke my heart a little bit. Like, do we still? How do I feel about this?
What, with City's interest or Chelsea's interest?
Chelsea's interest was put on by Fergie, by the way.
Right.
Fergie.
So when
chopped him
City
under the
approached United,
that
for
was
Rooney,
11. 11 was City.
Oh, I wish we'd signed
But
him.
you know,
scored against us soon after, didn't he?
2013, Fergie tried to do Moyes a favour
Yeah.
by getting rid of Rooney. But I also think Fergie had a little thing where he didn't, at that point, I think his and Rooney's relationship kind of soured, and he just wanted Rooney out of the club. And he told Moyes, get rid of Wayne Rooney. And he had come in and expected to play Kagawa and Van Persie. That was his two.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be Wayne Rooney. And then, obviously, he was leaving.
Why do you think that's doing Moyes a favour, getting rid of Rooney? Just
No,
because
I
of
think
the
in his head, he
politics?
was like, just get rid of him.
Right.
And then Moyes came in and gave him a 5-year deal and kept him. Maybe there's a little thing with Fergie where, you know, Fergie just caused trouble for him. And then Fergie did the interview after the game against Swansea, maybe. And he said, I don't know, you'd have to ask him, he doesn't want to be here. He's handed in it. He doesn't want to be here. But the reason he didn't want to be here was because you didn't want to play him.
Yeah.
He didn't say he didn't want to be here so it was kind of a little bit of a, Fergie was good at things like that.
Yeah. It all gets very murky, doesn't it?
Politician game.
Yeah.
Yeah, good politician.
Well, when a player becomes, they almost become indispensable to the team, the power is a problem. Like,
and when they become, because Fergie did that with everyone, didn't he? You know, just when it needed to be done, just all right.
yeah, he
Roy Keane.
he got rid of a lot of
He didn't care
players
about
early.
his relationship with them at the end. Like,
But he also got rid of them early.
Yeah.
Like I think he got rid of Mark Hughes early.
Van Nistelrooy too early.
Stam
Jaap
wrote the
Stam-
league off, lost the
Jaap
league
Stam was
title.
he's said that was the biggest mistake
But he wrote the league off.
because he used excuses about his knees and that, but it was the book.
Yeah, it was the book. Yeah,
but-
but off the back of the principle on the book, he kind of cost his team a league title by or sacrificed the league.
And he told him in a service station. Do you know that?
No, I
He
didn't
told
know
him
that.
to meet him at Knutsford or something. And
What the
he's
most
done
unglamorous?
like, oh, you're leaving. And
Yeah,
then Stam went to Lazio and AC Milan, and he was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible for AC Milan. He played with Nesta
yeah.
and all them boys. Did he win the
Nedved,
Champions League there?
No, he would have won the league with Sven as manager, maybe.
He didn't. He wasn't in that.
Have I got that
He
completely?
wasn't in that AC team that won the Champions League, was he? Stam.
He might have been, yeah, the one the
05.
boring one at Old Trafford.
No, 07. Oh, that one.
No, he wasn't in the.
No, he wouldn't have
07
been
side.
that 07
Did he win the one against Juventus in
Juventus at
02,
Old
03,
Trafford, yeah.
that kind of period of time.
Possibly.
The
Yeah.
boring one, like
Yeah.
the worst final ever, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was boring.
That was the worst final ever.
Yeah.
I was gutted when I made that.
Best
one.
tifo though. Best AC Milan fans had the Stretford end, and they did this amazing display. You know, Juventus have lost a lot of finals.
Yeah.
They did this amazing display where the whole of the Stretford end was obviously enormous. It was a graveyard, and it was like a tombstone for every final. Like, you know, like it was like
class.
for
How many
every-
finals was it? They've lost.
A lot.
Is
A
it?
lot.
Yeah.
And obviously it's more now. They lost the final in Cardiff to Real.
Real.
They lost the
Lost to
final in
Barca.
Cardiff, lost to Bar. Yeah, they've lost more now.
Oh, so
You
far.
know Juventus, like huge, obviously. You know they haven't won a Champions League since '96. Like Gianluca Vialli won the Champions League and signed for Chelsea.
Was Del Piero in that 96 team?
Yeah, he must have been.
I love Del Piero.
Well,
I
it was,
loved
it was
him
Ravanelli. It was Ravanelli and Vialli up front.
because I
together.
used to obviously
Nedved.
we always used to watch Football Italia, but because of that, then I loved Del Piero, and then I went to the United. I never used to get to go to Champions League games as a kid as much as
Yeah,
league games.
2 hours
Yeah.
in a car and
Yeah, and it's
we've
evening,
got
and I got
score now.
school.
Yeah.
And I went to that game, and he scored after like 20 seconds.
Mm.
United win 3-2, but I could just remember Giggs scored an amazing goal that day. But I just remember him just
Mate,
rounding
you-
the keeper after
You've
20
got to
seconds.
read 442 magazine did an amazing interview with him recently, and like you know they sort of went in deep with him, and it's such a good piece because it's talking to Del Piero. Obviously, he was there when the cheating accusations and they got
He
relegated.
stayed, didn't
Yeah, 3 stayed.
he? Buffon, him.
Buffon, him.
Inzaghi? No.
No, it's who was it? The third player. 3 of them stayed anyway. Was it
Davids.
Nedved?
Davids. Was Davids in it?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was Davids. I can't remember, but obviously loads left. I think Patrick Vieira left. You know, loads left, but he stayed. And like the way that he speaks about staying, he really does sound like a fan. Like, you know, when we talk about footballers like behaving and the way that they behave, and are they fans or are they professionals, or whatever. Like listening to Alessandro Del Piero talk about Juventus, it's just like a joy to.
So
behold.
when they got relegated, Juventus,
Thuram left.
They lost Fabio Cannavaro, Emerson, Lilian Thuram, Zambrotta, Mutu, and Vieira and Zlatan.
Yeah.
And then
Who
the
stayed?
players that stayed
Yeah.
were Del Piero, Buffon, Chiellini, Nedved. It would have been a young
Nedved,
Chiellini. Trezeguet
Trezeguet
stayed as well. Zalieta and Camoranesi stayed and helped them get
What
back.
player he was, Cameronese.
And
Just
then
let
they
you
won
know
the
as
league.
well,
Napoli were
boys.
in Serie B that year. How
Right.
mad's that?
Just to let you know as well, boys, big goal over in Germany. Dortmund have just gone 1-0 up. So we're going into if it stays as it is, there's about 30 minutes left. Dortmund go into the final day, just have to win at home against Mainz to win the league.
Oh, thank God for that.
That'd be great.
Oh, the Klopp's two former
Go for
teams.
that.
That'd be great.
Oh, it's like
Why are you saying
Evil
thank God
Empire
for
and
that?
Star
You see
Wars.
that-
Well, because they won 10 in a row, and they buy
Yeah.
10 was it 11 or 10?
Yeah.
But does it?
Do you see that Mudryk chance? You
Yeah,
missed
I think it matters.
You
doesn't it?
missed. You missed a
it's
great
terrible.
moment there. But
85 million quid. But I think it's good for football. Bayern Munich winning every league.
yeah, it's horrible.
I'm interested in other leagues, aren't you, John?
Bad for
No, yeah, I'm
Tuchel. Bad for Tuchel, isn't it?
Yeah, he's gone there. He's made them worse.
Bad decision to sack Nagelsmann, I think, especially when you look at their performances after that.
It's not a good look as well, is
because
it?
he had such a good record in Champions League.
It's not some old manager. He's doing well, but didn't fit. He was a young. They brought him in as a young, long-term thing.
I
You think Bayern Munich are more of a long-term
They're
kind
lucky
of
it's at
club?
home, you know. Dortmund have this kind of thing. You know, if it's away, you'd be like, they're bottled.
They're gonna go. Yeah,
They
be
bought
like,
against
it'd be
Bayern
like
Munich,
Tottenham
didn't they?
going into the. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope they win it. They haven't won it in
I really
Like I reckon in Germany,
13
people
years.
still expect Munich to win the league. Because
Probably,
you
Yeah.
know, it's like,
probably,
Yeah.
Bit like
no,
City,
they'll
maybe.
go and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when Tottenham were competing for the league that year. It's like, well, they're not going to win it. Doesn't matter. Don't
Yeah.
care how many points clear they are. They're not
Jude
going to win
Bellingham, that's a big thing for him as well, to win a league over there.
it. Yeah.
You know, that's a real thing.
Yeah, I'd love that to happen.
Being
I'd
captain
love
of
it
the
to
club,
happen for loads of reasons.
Points.
I'm not a big fan of Bayern Munich at all.
It's great. They've got Sebastian Haller as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
come back from cancer, of course. Yeah, amazing.
And when,
That's,
do you remember when
that's who
David
scored today.
David
fair play
Moyes
to him.
David Moyes decided he wasn't good enough for West Ham?
Yeah,
He
but there's
did
a lot
struggle,
of players
didn't he?
like that, though, innit? Where
Yeah, no, it does. I know. There's more conditions.
But it is funny.
Werner
because he killed it at Ajax as well. Innit?
Killed
it's
it at
not just
Ajax.
Germany.
Yeah,
He's scoring goals for fun. Wasn't he Champions League top goal scorer?
yeah.
Or
He
one
was
of-
at at
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. God,
Yeah, good player.
how many in a row for Bayern will it be? So this will end what, a run of 11?
I want to say 11, but might be wrong. It's at least 10, I think.
They haven't won it since Klopp, right?
Klopp won it in 2012.
Yeah.
So they would have won it every year since then. Oh, you're so shit.
What a side that was. Goetze, Royce, Lewandowski. In midfield, you had the Turkish lad. You remember him? Sahin?
Yeah,
Nuri
yeah,
Sahin.
yeah.
He was at Real Madrid as well.
He
wasn't
went to Real
Yeah.
Madrid. Went to Liverpool. Had a loan
he
spell at
did.
Liverpool. Centre backs were Hummels. Oh, he's one of the most underrated centre backs I've ever seen. What a centre back he is.
Is this at Bayern Munich?
He went to Bayern Munich, won everything, and came back.
Oh, is that Dortmund now?
Mm-mm.
I think he went back to Dortmund.
Yeah, I think we played him in the European Cup, didn't we?
Amazing.
Oh man, I can't
weren't
wait to
very
be back
good
in the
either.
Champions League.
It's weird that they. I know.
Hummels for
No,
Bayern.
just Chelsea's Potter knocked them out of the European Cup. It's weird, isn't it?
Dortmund, yeah.
Oh, Dortmund, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we beat him. Yeah, it's tough. I think that league struggles. If you're not buying,
Mm.
who'd you sign?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's hard over there.
But they're getting good at signing young
Young English
talent.
players, yeah.
I think a lot of people have clocked that.
Yeah.
Like, you get in and you get some of these players that aren't getting the football for City or whatever.
I find it amazing that they could look at Jude Bellingham in the Championship, play 40 games once in the Championship, and think we're gonna like. I love
Yeah, I
the
know.
international aspect of scouting.
Yeah.
That a club like Dortmund could be looking at the Championship,
But they have
sign
to,
him.
don't they?
It's amazing.
Because it's worldwide.
Yes! Oh!
Is that Stern? Is that no? That's Azpilicueta.
It's internationally known that the Championship is the greatest league
On the
in the world.
microphone.
I think it's pound for pound the best league in the world.
I can't wait for that playoff final.
The
It's
playoff final.
gonna be
I wish I
Good
could go to
buzz,
that.
man.
It's so annoying.
yeah.
Fighting, look at that.
Prawn sandwich brigade and that. Be fun.
That'd be good. Yeah. Shame it's Luton or Coventry in the Premier League. With all due respect, the clubs have
I
done
don't mind
fantastically well.
Coventry coming up. Football
But the
heritage.
cities, with all their towns.
Coventry.
Football heritage.
I don't know about that.
Premier League heritage.
Mm.
You're very
As
dismissive
you
of
can
City's
tell,
history, and then
I'm a
you go to Coventry.
nostalgic fella.
You are very nostalgic.
And
You are very, very. You're one of the most nostalgic people I've ever met in the
But
football.
Remember
world.
that Subaru on their
Coventry
shirts,
would have
didn't they?
played less games in the Premier League than like Fulham, wouldn't they?
yeah, but
And
when
you
you're a
wouldn't say
kid,
Fulham
Or,
are Premier
or
League
Man
heritage.
City before the takeover.
And you wouldn't
It's like-
say that they're
it's interesting.
heritage. Yeah.
but it's like I went to my first
You
Manchester
just,
United
you
game
remember
at
it.
Sheffield
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah, you just remember it.
So
It's
for
not
me,
football
Sheffield
heritage,
Wednesday
yeah.
are football heritage. In the
No,
Premier
Sheffield
League
Wednesday,
as well.
Sheffield Wednesday are though, whereas Coventry I don't think are. Like they might be for you.
But you know what I think it is with these clubs? Is games finished, by the way.
Full time, it's finished 1-0. Big chance at the end for a 1-1 draw for Azpilicueta. A little bit of as a pitch invasion. I do hope
Okay, now.
it's it's decent. It's decent. We've seen a few pitch invasions get a bit nasty. Obviously, it's not going to happen at the Etihad, but we have seen
They're
a little
quite a
bit.
good city for the pitch invasions.
Yeah, it's always really good fun. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
the West Ham one, that was a bit different, wasn't it? Espanyol pitch invading
Have
Barcelona.
you seen how since the
Mental.
fan went up to Eddie Howe, they've like, I
They've
know
got
they would've-
really serious
They've gone
about
really
it, yeah.
serious with the dugout
Yeah.
protection.
Yeah.
What
Like,
did-
there's
what happened now?
lines and lines and
Did you not
lines.
see Eddie
missed
Howe? A Leeds fan just ran up to Eddie Howe and nothing actually happened, but something serious could have happened.
Yeah.
And you could tell the guy got there and thought, oh shit, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Whereas if he was thinking, probably twats him or
Well,
something.
we saw that Burnham City fan run on and punch Jack Grealish in the Championship in the
Yeah. He
Burnham
died.
City derby.
He died. That fan.
I
Did
thought
he?
you said he dived.
What? Not related? What?
No,
Just
not
died in
related.
general,
No, he
yeah.
just died. Yeah, yeah. Like he was young though.
Jack Grealish didn't
He
put
was
a
young.
hit
He
out
went to
on
prison.
anyone.
He was young. But yeah, no, we've seen. I mean, the
Passed
worst
away.
one. The worst one I saw was it happened recently. I think it might have been in the playoffs where a fan just ran up and nutted. You seen a headbutt on the manager? Someone in the comments will definitely know what I'm talking about.
Someone did it. Oh, sorry.
The playoffs happened. The playoffs. The full time whistle went. Pitch invasion. Some geezer just.
Sorry. Yeah, I did see that.
Was it Luton?
No, that
In
was Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't it?
It was Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, Sheffield Wednesday, Peterborough.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no. Wait. Peterborough was just now. This happened a few months ago. Geezer just runs on and headbutts the manager in the dugout for no
we're
reason
getting
whatsoever.
back.
It was Billy Sharp they had putted.
Billy Sharp getting headbutted.
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah,
Sheffield
I
United
remember that
celebrating
now,
getting
I remember
promoted.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Kyle
terrible.
Walker there looking at, listen, what we're not going to do is sit around and wait for this trophy lift because, I mean...
No, that won't happen now.
I've
Though.
got
Well,
better
that happens
things-
on the last day, sure.
That happens today, surely.
Nah,
It's
they're
today.
not.
It's today.
Is
Last
it?
home game. Last home game. They've got 2 aways left.
God, they've had to engrave it quickly. And that they've had less than 24 hours.
Mate, it used to happen on the
Yeah,
spot.
Last season it would have happened.
I remember
Liverpool
when
or
Man
Man
United in
No,
99,
two
they
trophies.
were about to put Bayern
Two
Munich
trophies.
on it. They
Yeah.
had to reverse that shit quick time.
Mm.
Right, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It'll do us a massive favor. Also, thank you to Super 6 for sponsoring us. Download the app. It's absolutely free to play every single round, and you could win £250,000 for guessing 6 correct scorelines. Join our league, Club S6. Thank you to NordVPN as well. Head over to nordvpn.com/the club for exclusive offers, 40% off plus 30-day money-back guarantee. One account allows you to use 6 devices on all of it, and NordVPN is absolutely top stuff for your VPN services. So thank you to those guys, and thank you most importantly to you lot at home for watching us. Buvey, Rory, any final words?
Yes, I desperately hope that Manchester City don't win the treble.
Yeah.
I hope we do.